There we go. Welcome to another wonderful week of Dungeons and Dungeons. We travel back in time. Just after the Orlith boss fight, the Waterdeep crew traveled on quite an adventure to try and save these individuals from the Orlith menace. You guys nearly survived the battlefield with no consequences. But poor Shalmir was disintegrated during the fight. He is...
No consequences.
We're fine. Yeah, you guys don't know shit. Your characters have no idea that anything has changed in this world. Your Waterdeep crew has only just said bye-bye to all their friends as they bargained with Eve to try and revive Shalmir in exchange for finding the thing called the Paragon of Light and freeing it. The only problem was it was very far away. You couldn't go a kingdom away in enough time before it would be too late. And then this strange individual named Sundril of the Shadows, with this strange overbite and very abstract personality, teleported you guys to a chamber, a ruin of sorts inside the kingdom of Penk. And then he went and was like, bye, okay, thanks, and left you all to your own feelings and emotions after the boss fight, losing a friend, and still trying to process the entire journey from Waterdeep to Neverwinter with Jarlax all the way to here, and your near demise as just thousands of fiends disappeared in front of your eyes at the defeat of Orlith. Tellius went through an emotional little bit of fun there, gaining memories back that he was...
something.
I'd say questionable at best. His emotions and his confusion to what's going on was only made worse when Ulyrus pointed out a massive broken wall painting that showed Tullius and three different colored orbs surrounding it inside this wall, painted in this ancient chamber that predates the collapse. And that's where we left the Waterdeep crew. So here we are. What do you guys want to do?
He's an imposter, and I cast Disintegrate on Talia.
Plot twist.
Okay, so heel turn. The room is this massive circular chamber. It's laid out like Greek architecture. It has lots of those like little mosaic type of tiles layered everywhere. You can see it's layered, and there's tons of ruins and looks like artifacts and dust and dirt here. All sorts of statues lay around you. There seems to be a bunch of cave-ins on different sides, and it looks like there's like boxes of I'd say like waterways of sorts that spiral up around the edges, but they're very small. It's not like you could walk into them, and they're not like aqueducts that you would go into a sewer system. It's more like a way you would travel water about inside this area. It looks like no one has been inside this chamber for who knows how long. There is
sure Iris knows.
Thick he could try. There's thick dust everywhere inside in this cave, making it difficult to see, and it's basically pitch black, so you guys would need to try and illuminate the chamber in some way for those of you that don't have dark vision to try and see.
I'll just cast... Oh, wait.
Nope. So that is what it looks like.
I'm gonna light a torch.
Okay.
Nice.
As Tyrion, you use your magical abilities to turn on this torch in front of you. It lights up the area ever so slightly in front of that wall that Ulyrus was pointing out to, and you get a little more of the sandstone and I'd say whitish texture to all the stone inside here.
Does anyone know what we're looking for?
Like lime.
Sure.
Marble.
Ish.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we should probably find like an exit first. That might be important for us.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I'd like to find out how old that painting is.
You can try.
You would want to find that out.
I'm pretty sure I automatically know.
You have a feat, though. Let me read out the feat.
God.
It's a background thing.
Yeah. Where is it?
Smart feet.
Ah,
He's a smart boy.
let's see. Oh, actually, no. It's monetary value, not age. I can determine monetary value
Priceless.
of our object. I thought it was age. Okay, yeah, it's been a little bit.
It's been a while.
I'll roll for it though.
Yeah, you can go ahead and try and make a investigation check. Everyone else is welcome to do that as well if you want to look around the area and try and surmise what's going on or what you want to
I
do.
will do just that.
Investigation.
for it next
That is a 23.
Ooh.
With the aid of Tyrion.
Yep, we're in trouble. Oh, do you have the black ones as well?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, now we're in trouble because your DM, he's getting serious about trying to get that golden snitch
Dude,
to
you gotta get gravity die.
gravity die.
Yeah.
You mean just wait it die?
No. They're like laser cut.
Oh,
Precision.
ooh. Well, maybe I'll look at that if for Christmas.
There you go.
All right. So 23. You can with the 23. It's old. It looks really, really old, and it's broken off. And with the 23, it actually looks like there was a lot more to this wall, but it's all been taken by time.
Interesting. Yes, this is
I'd like to
definitely
look around the
very,
area.
very
Okay,
cool.
so what
With
did you
the
do?
aid of the torch. I rolled a 26 for perception.
Perception.
Yes.
Inside here with the aid of the torch as you're sort of guiding Tyrion's hand around as Tyrion's just sort of thinking
over
about
there,
the
over there.
situation. you're just like pushing it from side to side.
Wait.
You're able to see there's quite a lot of dusty objects and statues in here, like massive broken statues of all kinds of creatures that dwarf you guys in size. They are pretty intimidating inside this
They
place.
couldn't dwarf me and
Size.
you.
I'd
been a
say
while.
they're probably like 6 to 7 times your size. These
This is a
statues.
statue,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
What are the statues of?
You would have to make a perception check to try and gather what it looks like.
Well, that's probably not gonna do it.
Your name's Charnock. I knew that.
It's a
I
9.
knew that the whole time.
9. They're pretty dusty, and the faces are falling apart. They look like they have sharp teeth. Some of them got big claws. They look rough.
They look weak.
I need to cast detect magic to give me 10 minutes and just wander around the room. It's a 30-foot sphere around me.
Sure. Just looking at my notes here. Walking around the room, nothing glows. But as you walk around the room, I need you to... what's your passive perception?
12.
12. As you walk around the room, you accidentally step on a tile and a fire trap goes off. Lucky for you. But as it hits you from one of the statues, just fire comes out towards you. You take
Whoa! At least it was you.
14
let's make
points
sure
of
it's
fire
not me.
damage, so halved.
How much?
14.
Oh.
Guys, there's traps.
Oh, wow.
As Tyrion turns, just being covered in fire.
Are
My
you
clothes are a
alright?
little singed. Oh yeah, I'm fine. Fire doesn't bother me as much as
Maybe
those.
we should check for more moving forward.
I mean, you're not wrong about that. But
As he's like still getting hit by the fire, and then
I
casually
get out
steps
of
off.
the fire.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll look for traps.
We
Okay.
should keep looking for traps.
Go ahead and make
I'm gonna help him shine a light, help him out.
All right, make an investigation check.
23.
23. Now that you know it's there and you're push some of the dust off in this area, as you get closer to one of the statues, it seems like there was 2 pedestals each side for one of the cave-ins here. There's this big statue where the fire came out, You can see where the pressure of the tile goes down and where Tyrion was just standing on. And as you go around the statue, you can actually see some of the inner workings of it, like an area of, think Ancient Evil, like the wall blew away. And inside you can see some of the inner workings of it. And you see all these clockwork mechanisms in there. And you can maybe make out a trigger inside that big box there.
Ooh.
Do you want to just avoid them, or should we try to disarm the traps as we go?
I mean, you're pretty smart. You could probably figure out how to turn it off.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe try and get rid of the ones that are directly in front of us.
Unless you think
You're
you
pretty
can't.
smart. Yeah, you could do it.
Is that a challenge?
I think it is. I don't think you can do it.
Elaris, I'm going to say.
Let's do this. I'm gonna try to disarm it.
I'm going to write you. Wait, I'm going to write you a haiku before you start.
I enjoy haiku.
Elaris. Wait. Elaris.
No, that counts as 5.
Okay. Elaris, good job.
I
think that was it.
I don't think that was
Take your
haiku.
inspiration, guy.
that wasn't a 575.
How much is it?
You don't know what haiku is.
I come from a very cultured clan. Thank you very much.
Make him roll for that.
He doesn't know. I can tell you that. He has no idea what haiku is. That's Zach talking through Charnook. Charnook just blanked there for a second. What happened? There's no fucking way he knows what haiku is. I'm not even sure he knows how to read.
A long line of poets.
What is your? Is it a D10 or?
Yeah,
What is it?
Yeah.
D10.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like a D10 to me.
D10. Yep, there it
Then
is.
again, you multi-class, so I don't know.
D10. Okay. All right. So
Do you use your tinkering or do you have what is it, thieves tools on you or anything like that?
I have thieves.
That
I
would
have thieves
help
tools.
if you use those.
It's at least.
Well,
one
you
day,
you
I can tell
you
that.
can't do it without the tools.
Yes, indeed, you're right. You're right.
Do you add anything for thieves tools?
I believe.
Proficiency plus.
It's if you're proficient, you can add your proficiency bonus, and then
Dex.
usually you add an ability modifier alongside it, depending on what you're going for.
So it's gonna be a dex plus your proficiency
Plus like 8 or something.
and whatever the tinkering or the thieves tool is.
No, it'd just be your roll. The
Yeah,
these tools
it's
are
a
just
roll in the third. The
vessel.
tools allow you to do what you're doing.
It is still a D8.
Still a D8
It
then.
might be a
Oh,
D10.
D8. Okay.
Still a D8.
D8. Okay.
Oh, good. You
So
guys will never
I'm just
level
gonna
up.
roll. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll roll this as well. All right.
Again.
That's a 17 to start. With dexterity, that's 19, and then proficiency, 23.
23. Okay. Well, at first
Man, all the 23s.
you were it wasn't quite working well as you were trying to understand this very foreign structure, and these clockwork mechanisms seem to be from a completely different time. But as you start fiddling with the device and you start to get the idea of how it works, you even get it to trigger one time while no one's there, and you're like, oh. But eventually you see where the trigger is, and you take one of the gear discs and you just like pop it into the trigger to prevent it from going down. And from the connection from when the pressure plate goes down, from it going into and causing the fire to happen, and you stop the trap.
Okay. We're good.
I step on the pressure plate. Are we good?
As Charnook steps on it, the pressure plate goes down. You feel a little bit of a in your heart, and you're fine.
All right,
it's one of
we're
those
good.
things where you know it's like it's not gonna hit me, but it's like right here. Like,
Don't flinch.
I hope you learned something, Charnook.
I never learn anything.
I
Fair
learned
enough.
something. I learned
You,
that my
Elyris, do you wanna hold the or lead the way and keep an eye out for the trap?
I can do that.
I'll hand him my torch.
Okay. So you have the torch right now, and you are all still locked inside this massive chamber. You just found a trap. As Tyrion, you were going around and you were seeing all kinds of items with that roll, but you ended up stepping on that trap while you were looking around. So you were just seeing dusty stuff, like broken vases and
So
stuff.
we hadn't found like an exit
No. You did find an exit, but it's completely caved in front of you. What you could assume, exit, entrance, it seems to be one of, actually the only one in the room would be this one that got collapsed in.
Secret exit.
Okay.
Can I like go along, maybe like feel for like a draft along the walls where there might be like a path behind it?
Yeah, sure. You can make that.
Oh, nice.
Can I take Shalamir's ashes? Never mind.
Could that be...
Toss them in the air, wait for the draft.
Where is it?
Oh, at least it can be useful.
Jeez, man.
All right.
Never getting that D4 guidance again.
Yeah.
Never.
Investigation, yes.
Yes. As Orhana's just sitting there watching everybody, she's leaning on her bow, just like,
That's a 29.
29. You find there is no draft, but as you go around here, you do start to see a lot of interesting items along the walls. You can see, like, built into the wall, like, displays of crudely made, like, wooden animals are on there, like deers, foxes, and some pretty basic stuff as you go around. Some are missing and broken. As you continue around the room, you're able to kick a lot more of the dust up, and you can see that there's all sorts of items on the floors that I'd say with a 29 in particular, you were able to find quite a bit of these items, and you were able to put them against the wall because you thought they might be a point of interest. Going along that wall, though, you found at least a hole that looks like a lever would fit into, but you can't, it's not in right now. You can't find where that's at.
Okay.
So that is what you can surmise from this area that you guys are currently stuck in.
Alright. Well, I found this hole over here where a lever could possibly be to do something, maybe open a secret door. I don't know. Maybe we can find the lever that goes in here, or does it look like you could stick like a weapon in there, like the hilt of a weapon or
Like
something?
the shaft of a maul, perhaps.
Perhaps you guys can try. It's bronze. It clearly looks as this almost untouched though. It's not rusting, but it's bronze and clearly looks like there's an item that would go in there and click to open.
Like a very specific item.
Potentially.
Okay. Well, why don't we try Charnook? Would you mind trying your maul out here?
You're asking me to hit something with my hammer? Of course.
A little bit. Not quite hit.
Put the other ends of the maul into this hole.
Huh. Don't really use that end very often. I'll do it.
And here's a chance to use it.
All right, give me a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand? Alright. Let's use this one. That's not bad. That's 16.
16. Masterfully, you figure out that this circle is too big.
Guys, yo. I don't think this is gonna work.
Well, maybe let's take a look around, see if we can maybe find what's supposed to go in here, or maybe something that would be a good substitute.
Okay.
Alright.
That's a good plan.
Looking around.
Everyone make an investigation check to see if you can find it. Something.
Oh, it's so big.
26.
15.
9.
11.
23.
Okay. We'll start going down. You had 11?
11.
All right.
9.
411. You, as you're going through all this stuff, find on the ground, pushing, it almost feels like ash and dirt and debris away from many of the things that have been decomposing or don't exist in here anymore. A black velvet mask stitched with silver thread on the floor, but it's very faded of the whole thing. It's got one of those long noses to it, and it has the silver outlines all about.
It's like a plague mask.
Yes, very similar to that, but not a plague doctor's mask. It's just more celebratory. Okay. So you find that. Who at the 15 was Tyrion? you find a small mirror set that's all shattered. It's all broken and looks like at one point it might have been mounted on the wall in the area you were looking at, and it fell down over time. Whatever was holding it up there faded. There doesn't seem to be many like pins in the walls to keep stuff up. What were you?
I had a 9.
A 9? Oh, you find nothing. You every time someone finds something, you're picking up what they already saw, and you're like, "There's nothing in that," and you're just following.
Like kind of just lazily.
Do you have a tail?
Kicking. I think I have a tail.
Can you find your tail instead? How long have I had this?
That's a good question.
Charnook has an existential crisis as he keeps following, and all of a sudden he's just like, "What's following me?" And you're like, "What the and Charnook has found out he has a tail.
My entire life. Who knew?
You got a 23, right?
I did.
You find a... Where are you? A silver-plated steel longsword with a jet set in the hilt. So you find, like, as you push all this, like, dust and debris off it, it actually reveals this beautiful longsword down there that's just been lost to the ages. It's way bigger than you, and you're like, oh, what? As you're like...
How do I get this out?
As you keep picking it up, it's just like it's dragging, getting longer and longer than you thought.
I need help!
I walk over,
Yep.
pick it up with one hand.
Yep. Easily. It's about your size. It's massive. It's like a claymore.
I love this. And I keep it.
Yeah, I guess.
Alright.
All right. You can add a +1 claymore.
Claymore.
Yep. To your inventory. And Eulyrus,
That didn't show up when I was using detect magic.
it's not magical.
Well, if
Oh,
it's
well,
+1.
+1.
Any +1 item is gonna be magical.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the dust denied you on that one, even though it shouldn't have, because there really shouldn't be any magic items in here, and I was being nice to Charnook and giving him a +1, so he didn't be like, oh, just a fucking claymore. So your DM was nice there, and you caught me on that.
Very
So
nice,
sorry,
very nice.
I won't be next time. And then Eulyrus, you find a necklace string of small pink pearls that are all faded as well. All the colors on everything here have just been eroded on time, and it looks pretty beautiful. Like there's also like a gold implant or plate on there where all the pearls come across, and it looks of a style that you've not seen before. With that, though, in that same area, you're able to crack one of the pots as you were moving up to see this one thing, and out of one of those pots, you do indeed find a rusted-looking lever. And look, faded, not rusted, faded. Nothing's rusting in here.
I believe this is what we were looking for. I'm gonna walk over and
Okay,
put it in.
give me a strength check to see if you can pull it down.
All right. Ooh, all right. That's not too bad. Strength. That's 15.
Just barely. Eulyrus does not make it look easy.
You're having trouble over there.
No, I got it.
It clicks, and you see all those waterways. There's actually gaps, and you start seeing them click, and water starts flowing, and the water itself is glowing, so it starts to illuminate the room. It's like it's a bluish glow. It's not like it's illuminating. So as it's pushing through the room, almost in like in a serpentine, all the way around, it spirals and spirals until finally, it goes behind where you guys can see. It's like it's going in and out of areas way above where you could actually reach. And eventually you see where the rocks are on the door, just smashes it all. And all the rocks just get pushed away by the water. And now there's this like very vicious, quick water stream river cutting across the exit.
Quick water stream river. I dig it.
Geyser. I was looking for a word there.
Is it?
It's not up, but it's like it's like shooting one way.
Can you turn it off, Charnook?
Right, I think I can.
You can try.
I'd try and
Give me a
turn it
strength check.
With a 2, it's a 10, but no.
With a 10, as when you put it down, like Eulyrus jammed this thing down, and so as you try and go up as the tough guy, you're looking at him like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, I don't think you did it wrong. I think you broke it.
Do you need help?
No, I got this. Try again.
Try again with disadvantage.
Well, even still, it's a 16.
16. Charnook starting to sweat bullets as Telia starts coming over for his honor. Gets in the click.
That was really in there, let me tell you. Oh, man.
Sorry, I must have pushed it down a little too hard. Sorry
I
about that.
punch him in the shoulder.
Your string-being arms do not enjoy the force of contact from Charnook's punch.
Yep.
So you see a couple of them click out of place again, and some of the water just starts to fall into this chamber and just slap on with that beautiful water on marble sound. But the geyser coming across fades, and then it just becomes a little bit of a little stream of puddled water in front of that area. And you do see stairs now that everything's gone.
Egots.
Onward!
Great Scott.
Hey, let's go. I'll check for traps again.
Okay. As you go forward, give me a investigation check.
Hey, can I cast Detect Magic and look at this freaking mask?
Sure.
28.
Okay. Mask is normal.
Yes! Is there anything else that's magic besides my friends?
There is nothing besides your friend's magic.
Yes!
Orhana lights up like a Christmas tree, just like Tyrion looked earlier. There is nothing magic. Even the sword does not appear to be magic, despite it being a +1 sword.
This is really weird. It feels pretty magical
dust.
in my head.
Elyrus, as you start to go out with the 28, you do notice there are more of those fire traps set above the doorway on your way out, and you can see a bunch of pressure plates leading out that would definitely trigger the fire traps and potentially other traps.
Hold on. We got some more traps here. Can I try to do the same thing?
Do you need another haiku?
It looks
We always need another.
it looks more difficult because you can't see. You're gonna have to give me a perception check to try and even find where the trap begins and stops. So, like, you notice there's traps, but now you don't know where the trigger is. Like, you see those, but like how you would even approach trying to disable these.
That's 27 perception.
I didn't miss you. I didn't miss you at all, Elyrus.
Just wait until he's in combat.
Stepping back, there's this like little area where you can see the waterways going down, and the waterways are both unclicked on both sides, but inside the wall itself there is erosion damage, and you see another one of those areas that would have the gears. The only problem is turning that off has now created about a 10-foot gap for you to get over to the turned waterway where the hole in the wall is to disable these traps.
Okay.
So you have to figure out some way to get over there with your teammates can try and aid you or something like that. Or you cannot tell them. Just one trap, guys. Don't step on
Can I
just
see-
that one. Sorry, go ahead.
Can I see the pressure plates that are going to set it off?
Well, you had a 28 with that, so I'd say you can see at least 4 of them. And you know, of these 4 pressure plates, at least 3 of them are going to be triggered by the fire trap because you can see 3 more of those faces above.
Mm-hmm.
And the faces look strange. They look very demonic.
And remind me how to get to the on the gear that I can
10 feet jump.
undo.
10 feet
10
jump.
feet jump.
The whole area is slick from the water just coming by, but there's a hole in the wall right now.
Okay, Tarnuk,
What's up?
you're a strong lad. You can probably throw me pretty far.
He thinks I'm a strong lad.
You are a strong lad.
I throw him.
Roll a strength
I gotta
check.
tell you where to do it.
All right, go ahead.
Throw me over there.
19.
19, you throw him right onto the trap pads.
Yes.
Elyrus, you trigger 3 of the 4 traps.
Oh God.
Very
A saving
nice.
throw.
Yeah, give me a dex saving throw.
This is the heel turn.
Oh no.
You have uncanny dodge, right?
Yes, I do. So the dex saving throw is an 8.
Well, for this one, it'd be evasion.
Okay.
Yeah.
38 points of fire damage from all 3 traps.
I'm gonna use evasion to half that.
That sounds good. As Charnook chucks him into the traps, you just see like just these streams of fire coming out and hitting you, Lyris.
Oh, wow. Wrong spot, but okay. Am I
You-
closer to the thing?
No, he threw you in the completely wrong direction.
Oh, God.
the where the crack is inside the waterways, which is like when we walk into this door, right? There's a little middle area between the 2 doors where the waterway cuts through. So you have the room behind you just came from, the traps and the stairs in front of you, and then you have the waterways to your left and right. So there's like a 5-foot gap where the waterways cut through to separate the 2 rooms.
How deep is it?
How deep is what?
The waterways.
Like
The way I'm picturing it right now is that there's a walkway in the center, and on
Yep.
either side is a place where the water would flow.
yes, but it's
How deep is it?
well, it's like if you look down and see how far the drop is, give me a perception check.
All right.
Where because it's now turned, you can try and see.
This is good rolls for.
It's dark.
Oh boy.
You can't really see more than 5 feet, so it's probably like you could probably jump down there.
So I'm cut off now?
Well, you got to figure out. I'll give you like 5 more seconds before the trap goes off again and hits you with 3 more blasts. You can either continue up the stairs or come back towards your friends. Your choice.
Does it look like, most of the crew could just jump over and follow me?
Not really. With how big the pressure plates are, they're probably going to take some damage if they run through here.
Okay. I'll go back then.
All right. So you
I'll get back.
you get up, run back. In Charnook's head, you're crawling back on fire, but you, as gracefully as possible, return to where you were, charred, looking back up at Charnook.
Okay.
So where do we need to go?
So we need to go across. Hang on.
Ryan's having a tough time visualizing
I'm
this.
also having
He's
a
a
little bit
bit
of a time.
frazzled from the fire, I think.
I just know we have to go across the pressure pads eventually. And
Right.
that to undo them is not across the pressure pads.
You know,
It's kind of like to the side.
it's across the ravine, is what I'm understanding.
Over the river
Where-
and through the woods.
Just, can you point it out?
Where's the ravine?
The spot
Okay.
on either side.
Okay, this is the room you came in.
All right.
It's gonna be tough for them to see. I'll get it in a second. You see how there's just like a little square here,
Uh-huh.
and then there's the next room.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna draw it on this map actually because I can see that that's not doing great.
Nope. Nope.
Just drew it to begin with.
Oh, I'm getting a good visual now. I think I can visualize it. I think
My eyes
we,
are clearing up.
we need to go. Tyrion, hand me your torch. I'll light mine.
I'll grab it and bring it over.
Oh, guys,
I'll-
it's so
I'll-
bright in here. I can see
By
everything
the way,
now.
Reed, how long have we spent in this chamber at this point?
Doesn't feel like too long.
Not too long. I'd say about 20 minutes.
Okay, I'm just gonna say because a torch it lasts an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind.
I mean, you can light a torch, right?
Oh wait,
You have
Wait,
A
what?
person of
Fire.
your caliber
fire on your hands. I don't think you really need it.
should be able to light a torch with no.
no, but a torch only lasts for 1 hour and then it's done. It doesn't stay lit after
I
that.
mean, what if I
Can you
flip
relight
over,
it?
like the other end?
Not really.
Just set the stick on fire.
Well, this
keep
torch
lighting.
sucks. I don't want it.
Okay.
It-
Ulyrus.
Oh, here I am.
Here's me.
Don't forget about Kabosh.
Kabosh is not out, so.
You're not. You're not.
And Thelius. So you 3 are here. This is the chamber. These are the waterways. This is where you see the break that Charnook could have throw you to one of these. Instead, he threw you here, and then you got burned alive. So this is where you need to be thrown if you want to go toward that thing.
All right. Let's try this again.
All right, tell me specifically where
Yes.
you want to go.
I want to go right over there. I'm gonna point to where I see the little hole in the wall where I can undo the trap.
Now, do you want to go through the hole in the wall, or do you want to
Put
be
me right in front of it.
right in front of it? All right, champ.
Give me
I
a
gotcha.
strength check.
17.
17. Give me a dex check as well, because everything's wet. So Charnook throws Eulyris, and then Eulyris, you try and catch her footing on the wet.
Do you mean acrobatics check?
I'm gonna give him a dex saving throw. She's not trying to slip.
Saving throw.
Yeah.
Well,
give-
because an acrobatics check is meant for that kind of situation. If you're trying to keep your feet in a sticky,
Alright.
like examples it's given is like if you're trying to run across a sheet of ice.
all right, then yeah, sure.
Balance on
Give me
the
an
fight.
athletics check
A
then.
lot of times, like landing gracefully will be acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Um,
Then that.
12.
12. It's not graceful, but you're able to stop just before the edge, and you can now see the trap.
Are you alright? You're not on
I'm
fire
good.
this time.
Thank you. Yes, much better. Okay, I'm gonna look in there.
Yep.
See
It's,
that?
it's a whole room, so you're actually able to step through the hole in the wall and see all the
Oh,
gears,
shit.
and you can see all 3 of the traps.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's start with this one.
Okay.
Um,
Give me the...
Thieves tools check.
Please.
Thieves tool check. Okay, that is a 14.
You mess with the first gear. It's not quite like the last one. You try to replicate moving the gears around, but these ones aren't as eroded away as the old statue, and he couldn't get the first one.
Okay. Let's try the second one.
Okay, go ahead and roll for it.
Natural 20.
With the natural 20, I'll say, you're able to figure out the difference from the previous mechanisms, and knowing that, you're able to go back to the first one, and both of them are now disabled.
Well done.
There we go.
Well done.
All right, and then there's one more,
Tully's
right?
shouting from the side as you see the heads with every one he stops. The head of the monster above just crumbles and falls, and 2 of them have fallen down.
Ooh.
That's 2 down. One more, and then I'll go for the last one.
Okay.
You can do it, lad. I believe in you.
Nice. Okay, that is a 24.
Didn't even need
24?
to inspire him.
Yeah.
It's
With the very
inspiring
last
without
one,
the
you've done
magic.
this twice now, and the mechanics, you're starting to get the hang of whatever these ancient clockwork devices are, and you're able to disable that trap, and you guys are free to go across.
Pew. Done. And then I'll walk right out.
All right, and now you're 10 feet away, stuck on this area.
Just jump over. It's easy.
All right, I'm gonna jump, but be ready to catch me
I
if.
can, I'll jump first if you want me to be there to catch you.
You know I have a rope.
I'm gonna jump.
Actually,
You're gonna jump over to him. Okay.
10 feet.
Yeah. I mean, you have the storm
wants-
giants thing, so you
I,
just
I
make
could probably
it.
jump 10
Yeah.
feet too, but.
Yeah. So
What's
Tully
your
just
street
jumps over.
score?
Give me an
15.
acrobatics check.
Great.
That's with a running start, though. Do I have room to
whopping
have a
9.
running start?
9. As you jump and land next to Eulyris, and you're like, it's so easy, but because of the water, you slip and fall, and you fall.
I'm gonna try to catch him.
Okay, give me a strength check as he's sliding by, as you're trying to catch this. You gotta roll high, Eulyris, because he's heavy.
I think we're both going.
Oh, what'd you roll? This is
9.
9?
Oh no!
You grab Telius and Eulyris gets dragged as well. You guys fall, and
Oh no!
you take.
Can I cushion the blow for Eulyris?
Sure, you can try and
what a nice
I'll let you
guy.
half it
Yeah.
as you do the old like cat. No, it's not, cat would go the other way, but grab
Down,
him.
Mr. President.
Yeah, and just like get in here.
Yep.
As you hit on your plate armor, it connects on one of the lower waterways. You fall 40 feet,
Oh.
and you take
Oh my god.
17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Is mine's
You're just
half,
halved
you said?
from Tellius saving. And it is pitch black down there. You have no idea what you fell on. And no one can see you guys.
I have a torch.
Oh, you have the torch with you then. So you guys are in pitch black as Tullius took off with the torch.
No,
There's
we
two-
lit a
there's two
second
torches.
torch.
Oh, I misheard you. I didn't know that. So wonderful.
Yes.
Tyrion has one.
So
So-
what's around?
It looks like layers and layers and layers of these waterways that just go down and down and down. And you can see all these like massive gears underneath this chamber as well. And it just goes from as far as you can see with the torch. It looks like this massive construct.
Well, that's interesting.
Dead end.
Charnuk, can we get your rope?
You lower down a rope, please.
Oh, good, you're still alive.
I'm gonna grab the end so he doesn't just throw the rope
Give
down.
me a sleight of hand check. Give me a sleight of hand check because you totally just.
I had like this.
I didn't see it.
I don't appreciate this.
Make him roll an intelligence check
Oh
to
my
know
God.
it.
Yeah, give me an intelligence check. And you were so excited.
A natural one.
Yes! He's like, they're alive! Tyrion! As he chucks it over, and Tyrion's like, what'd you roll? 2? You Lyris and Tellius are just like beaten and battered. Man, this is some fucking D&T right now. And you guys are just looking at each other just like, man, that was pretty dumb.
Throw down one end of a rope.
As the rope is
hold
coming
the
down,
other.
you're both like seeing it and just like, oh, here we go. You go to grab it, and it's like, oh man, it still was. And it just like drops as the two of you just look at one another like,
Tyrion, what the hell? Why would you do that?
I'm gonna pull out my rope. I'm gonna look for a little thing nearby that I can tie. Is there anything nearby I might be able to tie it to?
you could go back up into the room and tie it into the statue. That's about 5 feet into the room, the original fire statue.
How far away would it be from here, from this spot?
From where exactly? From here, there's nowhere you can really grab onto.
Yeah.
In here. You would have
Well,
to
it's
like
good.
tie it around your buddy. Charnuk would be the closest thing. You have to go around the corner about 5 feet to tie it to the statue. That's the closest thing you
Okay,
can tie it to.
because it's a 50-foot rope, so I'll tie it
45,
there.
okay.
Funny, huh?
So
And then
45 feet. You fell 40 feet, so you have 5 feet difference there. So it reaches you
Okay.
guys.
That's all, yeah.
It's a nice.
And then
There you
I'm
go.
gonna like hold on to it. Charnuk, can you help just brace it?
Yeah, I got you.
You
Make
say-
sure you bring up Tyrion's rope because he threw it down there like an idiot.
Yep, I got it. I'll like kind of like do it like cross,
I'll let
cross
you go
my
first.
body.
Okay.
and I'll-
Make
All right, up we go.
I'm heavy.
Make a
Athletics, probably.
yeah. Give me an athletics check.
I'll catch you if you fall.
Can you have advantage since we're helping with the rope?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. That's not great.
I'll catch you.
That's a 12.
12.
That's not bad.
That's fine because you have ropes. You have everything going on right now. Eulyris,
Okay.
you're a fit lad. You're very used to adventuring as well down here and doing this type of stuff.
Adventure. What am I saying?
It doesn't look. It's not as smooth as you've done in the past, but gets the
It's
job
wet.
done. Like as you get up though, it's like this like and you're pushing yourself up instead of this graceful being able to like climb up like on the side of a wall scaling wise. Tullius, you can make an athletics check as well if you want to try and get up.
It's probably a 23.
Okay. I'll say
it's 23.
with a 23 and Charnuk just even bracing it, even the statue you can hear like bits of the stone like because you're heavy. And Tullius goes up
That's
with
why I asked.
with a 23, you just as you get up there, like the foot of the stone that Tyrion tied it to just comes out and it's coming around the corner. So I need you
Ooh,
to
I'm gonna
make a
help
dex
grab- I'm
saving
gonna see if
throw,
I can grab it.
so you don't get hit in the
Oh,
back by it.
no.
Flashback to the well.
But the two of us were both
Okay,
holding on to
19.
it.
19, then you need a dex saving throw as well. 19. So as it's coming, whipping around the corner, Charnuk's like, oh no, easily like not today.
Oh, okay, that's
12.
what I thought was happening.
12. You get nicked a little bit by it. So as it swings around, 2 points of
Smack damage.
bludgeoning damage as it whips around the corner. As you're like, oh, you hear it crack, and you turn just as it like hits the side of your face, giving you a little wake up love tap. And Charnook, hearing you go ah, is able to be like, nope. As that flings down like a counterweight as Tullius comes up, and then with the rope, Charnook, you're still able to hold the rope and bring it back in, and now you have a broken piece of like marble foot at the end of a rope, still tied to it.
Sweet. Could probably bludgeon someone with
You
this.
could. You can add that to your inventory if you'd like.
Marble foot.
I think it's
going in the
around
notes.
one time, I get whacked in the head.
Give me a dex save then.
You've been
As Orhana's just so bored and as this thing's
natural.
flipping it around, what'd you roll?
Natural 1.
As he hits Orhana, she falls the other way, and she falls. I need you to. You did a natural 1. You're gonna fall 40 feet.
Alright.
Oh no!
You were so quiet, I haven't heard you. I didn't know you were there.
Why would you do
I
that?
never
That's
expected
so
this would take.
dumb.
Oh no! That's almost full max damage.
So as I'm like climbing up, she just
Yeah. Well, no, you get up, and the counterweight goes down, and then Charnook's like, oh man, cool. He brings it up a little bit, and you're like, what are you doing, Charnook? He's like, oh, look how cool this is. And before he gets even 2 off, Orhana leaning on her bow, just like falling asleep, just gets smacked and clobbered off the side. You take,
jeez.
it would be 23 points
Oh my god.
oh no!
bludgeoning damage. I rolled a 6,665.
Man.
Brutal. Oof. As Orhana just cursed in pitch blackness because you didn't have a torch.
No, but I can see.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. So yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you'd be very used to these type of areas because of your history inside this kingdom and all of the stuff you've done in here. So this is something that all too familiar. Getting knocked during an inside cave.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Guys, I think I need to go sit down.
Where do you sit down?
I'm going to.
I'm just gonna collect the rest of my rope from Charnook.
Well,
if
it's
you want-
tied still to the other end of that thing. So
If you want,
I'm gonna untie it and hand
Oh,
it.
I put it in my notes and everything.
there it goes. Nope. Tyrion's
All right,
like, nope.
all right. I guess we can use this one. Charnook, hold this end, please.
No! I'll do it.
Oh, here you go.
Alright, I held that rope pretty good for you. I
tell
don't
us
know what
here.
you would.
Okay, they lower the rope. Give me a athletics check to have Orhana climb.
Can I pull her up as she's climbing to make it faster?
Sure. So roll a strength check.
Okay.
So that's a natural 2.
Natural 2. So as Tullius goes to help you and make it faster and leave, you just see the rope go through your hands. You're like, again?
What just happened?
You lower it back down.
Drop the rope.
Go ahead and give me another check.
That's better.
That's a natural 19.
Okay. Easily you're able to come up with the help of Tullius this time and much quicker pace than Tullius getting up here. You guys finally all get almost out of the first room.
I told you guys it was easy.
I sure didn't expect this.
Let's go.
I'm gonna walk forward through the first set of trap.
Okay. You walk past the first 3 disabled traps. Ulyrus, you do know and you do remember there were 4 traps, and you disabled 3 of them, and you weren't sure where the 4th one is. Tyrion's about to step on the 4th trap.
Hey, wait.
Oh, I'll stop.
You are like, your foot is like inches away from stepping on a pressure pad right now, and you're completely frozen.
Bring it back.
Move my foot back. On.
All right.
Okay.
You guys can see it's like a 8 foot by 8 foot pressure pad. These things are massive. That's why they take up so much of the room and would have been very difficult for you to get around. But the other 3 block the whole room. With this last one here, you guys can easily go around it. So
Yeah. Everyone, pay attention.
Alright.
Do not step on this tile.
You
Go
got it.
around. Follow me, and I will go around it.
Alright.
okay.
I will follow him.
Do the thing.
You don't have to make checks for this. These are stairs. They're fine. There's enough space. It's like 4 feet of
Roll a
space.
dexterity saving throw
on each
for
side.
walking downstairs.
All this upstairs. You're going upstairs.
Oh, okay.
You're not going
Up
down.
the stairs.
Oh, up. All right.
You're going upstairs right now.
Right.
So as you go up these stairs and around the trap, you enter yet another room that looks even more faded and destroyed, but a little more modern. As you get inside here, still with that sandstone marble look to it and all these beautiful pillars inside here. There is what looks to be almost an identical room, just a little bit higher with even less in it. You do see another area that you would put a lever in, but there's no lever there.
We're not gonna explode if we walk around here, right?
Let's find out, and I'll look for traps.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
That is a 25.
Nice.
You see every one of the statues in here definitely has fire traps in front of them. There's about 12 statues inside this room, but they're all amongst the walls, thankfully. So as long as you guys stay to the center of it, you're going to be all right.
So do I see what activates the statues, or I can
Yes,
just tell
it's all-
the statues?
It's all the pressure pads. It's the very same pressure pads you've been seeing throughout all the other
Okay.
areas.
They
So
were
it's
one
like the
trip
pad
ponies.
right in front of a statue.
Yes.
Okay.
And you notice one of those pads is directly below an area where you would put one of those levers in.
Okay. All right. Everyone, there are traps in front of all the statues, so just steer clear of the statues. Try to stay towards the center of this room. And I'll go in, and now I'll look around and see if I can find another lever.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Did you say step on the in the front of the statues?
Don't-
Nope,
don't
do
step
that.
Let's tell you, this is
I
like
think
pushing
you
his
might have
sword
said
on it, but he's not putting quite enough weight to trigger it. It's like testing it out.
Hey, your funeral, but I wouldn't do it.
As he's on the
26.
ground in the dirt.
Yep.
As you're going through all kinds of stuff, I'd say with the 26, you find a gold circlet, gold circlet set with 4 little animals on it, like aqua animals. So like a seahorse, a crab, a fish, and I'll give you a turtle. Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Tully's just staring at it. So make sure to be adding those to your inventory.
Yeah. What was this one?
You find that it was a
It's a gold circle
gold
set.
Yep, gold circlet set with 4 aqua animals. Aquamarine. Seahorse, crab,
turtle, fish.
no, yes, fish. But
I'm
no
just
sign of a
gonna say
lever
seahorse.
anywhere.
Can I put my mask on?
Maybe we have to go back
Does it
to
fit?
the
Not even
old
close.
room.
I'm still gonna put it on.
Oh, actually,
No, I'm gonna put it on anyway.
it's almost fits for you, but it's weird. It's not like it fits your face normally, but like if you put it just on your eyes, like the shit fits on your weird face.
Yep. Drown.
Okay, so you got this like big long nose as Tullius is now like looking out, trying to look out over the mask. Narrowly avoiding traps as he continues to do this around the room. He's literally like walking in circles just on the edges with his sword out as he's like dragging it across each of the traps.
Does the spot look exactly the same as the other one?
The one that you would put the lever in?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we need the same lever from downstairs. We need to start bringing it with us. So, I'll go back and get it. Anyone who wants to come
Maybe
get it,
Tellius should go because it looked like it was kind of stuck in there.
Why
Oh
me?
yeah, it was
Why
very
me?
stuck. You got that shooting belt.
I mean, I'll go if you don't want to, but one of both of the buddy system. Let's both go
All right.
in case something happens. So
All right.
yeah,
That's
so,
fine. That's fine.
Well, they want
Yeah,
it
let's do
over.
it.
You both wander back into the
Or
other
saunter.
chamber. You saunter back into the other chamber. And a boss fight happened. No, I'm kidding.
Door closes. You're by
And the end game
yourself.
boss comes. No. You guys go over and Tullius, go ahead and make a strength check.
So
Oh boy. I don't
heard
know about
you.
this one.
Oh, yeah?
Hit your head pretty hard.
Strength,
you
you say?
Yep.
Abilities.
I didn't hit my head.
Well,
22.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're able to take it out actually pretty easily. It's
To the
not as
stairs,
hard
so.
to push it. It's easier to lift it out than push it up and down.
With one hand.
Yeah. You guys return, and you now have the lever.
I'm using it as a
All right.
walking stick.
You can go ahead and put it in. Tell you.
No, you should do it. I don't want to mess it up.
Okay.
Wait, as he's putting it in, I'm going to minor illusion and make it look like it's broken.
Okay. As it looks like it's broken, that's enough to distract Eliris as he's like, what? As he's putting it in, and you step on the pressure pad.
Oh, shit!
The real boss was us all along.
Did you really want to play this week, Ryan? I'm not sure anymore. Give me a dex saving throw to see if you jump off the pad in time.
At least it's Dex.
16.
16, just
My dex
barely.
actually isn't high.
As you jump back, just flames erupt, and you drop the lever as it ting-tings off it, and the lever gets singed as the flames hit it. I'm gonna see if the lever breaks.
Oh, no!
I never thought you guys would do this.
I'm gonna try to grab it out of the fire.
As it's burning and it starts to crack away, you bring it out, and it looks actually cracked now, like the illusion. It's looking really
shit.
rough and delicate.
I'm going to very carefully put it in. Actually, does someone-
anybody know mending?
Mending.
Nope.
Is anyone able to fix this?
I've heard of it, but I it's not my style, really.
I think.
Not my thing. I mean, the Shalmir
Shalmir
probably
was the
knew
one.
it, but
The
I mean,
sand, the ashes just tear, just
I'm
one
gonna
teardrop.
I'm gonna sprinkle some ash on it.
Oh no!
That's just
Is that gonna work?
disrespectful.
No,
Okay.
no, that's disadvantage for the rest of the night.
I'm not gonna do that. though.
No, I'm kidding. You don't.
That's
Nope.
not
Nope.
All right, so
Nothing then.
we can't do that.
All right.
I mean, does it work?
Let's try it, and then I'll try to very carefully and gently, but strong enough to put it in.
All right. So
I'm
you
not-
lean
I'm not
over,
fucking around with it
you
this
put it in, and you try and pull it down. Give me a strength check.
Okay.
I'm spotting him. Like, yeah.
Yep. Nope. That is a 6.
As you're pushing down on it, you feel like, oh, I can't quite do it, and then your hands slip, and you take a piece of it off with you. Not like the whole thing, but like a bit of the handle. Like there's a whole bunch of, like, it would be like a metal cylindrical rod, and then there's like gripping on it. That gripping is now come off because it's burnt and damaged. So there's like a chunk missing in the middle there now. But it's in, you just couldn't push it down.
Do you need help?
Kelly's? Yes,
Alright,
please.
we'll do it together. Hold my hand.
Okay. Okay.
I rolled an 18.
Yeah, that's gonna be enough. You don't have to do a modifier. As Tullius does. Actually, what is the modifier? No. Actually, I need.
Strength,
Yeah,
or-
I need to know if you overdo it.
9.
9. So that's
I've been training on this.
20.
7.
27.
I've been training
You're
on
okay.
this.
You're okay. Yeah. You almost went over. So as Tully says, you're like, yeah, I got this. You feel like, whoa, let up. As the thing starts to break, and on that one, the whole room shifts, and
I'm so strong.
you can feel like it being pushed up and rotating on all sorts of clockwork gears.
Rotate the room?
I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws, not to fall into the traps as the room is swirling. Everyone. So you don't accidentally get thrown like one of those carnival
Dex saving
machines.
throw.
Yep.
25.
25. Eliris, you're just like to the ground. You take out your knives, put them in the ground as you guys are starting to spin upwards.
18.
18. You're able to like
Yep.
push down. 10. Go! Charnuk, he flips into one of the statues. He's right now against the statue, not triggered yet.
16.
16. You are able to take out your dark dagger. He's like, yes! He's stabbing into the ground and just like,
5.
Right.
5. Tyrion, you go like next to Charnuk. Seconds later, Charnuk's like, this sucks. as Tyrion gets slammed against the wall as well. As you guys are going up at this speed, and it goes for about 5 or 6 seconds, and then finally settles. And as it settles, the two of you go right onto the traps.
Oh, so it was like one of those spinny things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like that
Can I
amusement park
shoot?
ride.
Can I shield Tyrion from the blast?
No, you guys are on separate ones.
All right.
But like I told you, they're 8 feet by like 8 feet long, and he has resistance anyway, so I don't feel bad. 15 points of fire damage
15. Okay.
to each of you, half for Tyrion.
Traps.
Apparently. Oh man, we haven't done any traps in this campaign, so welcome to Trapland.
Welcome to fire traps.
As
Can we
you're
take
up
it
there,
over?
one of the walls that you previously came from is now lined up with another room, and it's looking way more modern now, and it's like modern in like what you're used to in architecture in this world.
Like a journey through time.
Wait,
or
so
something.
There's another entrance to leave now.
right, modern architecture, like as in current modern.
Not no, not like skyscraper. No, not our
Okay,
modern.
okay.
Like modern in Zenya's world.
Okay.
What you guys are used to.
All right.
You didn't find a skyscraper.
Yeah, I was confused.
No, Planet of the Apes. No, none of that. But you can see another area.
Blew it up.
All right. Are you guys getting off the pads? Because you got like 5 more seconds before it goes off again.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't hear it. So Charnook and Tyrion get off. You guys meet in the center of the room. What do you guys want to do?
All right, let's continue on. Look for traps.
As you guys exit, give me an investigation check.
Wait, do we need to take the lever?
Yes,
we
I
should.
would take that. Be careful with it.
All right. You lean over and try and take the lever.
I rolled a 10.
A 10.
So my modifier is 9.
Oh, yeah. You're able to take it out with ease, and Ulyrus sees you take it, and he starts checking the next room for traps. What'd you roll?
27.
27. You only see one trap in this room. It seems to be triggered by breaking a light beam. You're actually starting to see light, and there's a light beam in the center, but you see it's weird the way it's angled. It's being bounced off a mirror. You even like toss a stone through it because you're so interested in this, as everyone else is like, you're so boring, Ulyrus. And as everyone's like, you're so boring, Ulyrus, all these arrows hit the ground.
Oh,
Nice.
nice thinking.
Do I think that it has multiple like charges?
Throw another rock.
Like it happened again.
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, we could throw another
I'll try it
rock.
again.
All right, you throw another rock. As you throw the rock, it cuts light beam. You hear this, and all these arrows come down again.
Okay, so it has multiple charges. Okay.
And they're like snapping and shattering and like splintering towards you in a way.
Oh, jeez. Interesting. Is there like a path we can get through avoiding the light?
Easily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
no,
Let's do
it's
that.
just like one light that's cutting around the room. You're basically just you can't walk straight through the room. Is all
So
that is.
just let's do not walk through the light, whatever you do.
Don't go
Let's go.
towards the light.
All right. All you guys bend around.
No, away from the light, Charnook.
You guys bend around it, and you end up going out of this room with the lever. As you exit out of this room, you can see the previous one where all the 12 traps were. It starts going back down and disappears as just a wall comes in that way.
Thank goodness we took the lever.
Right.
Yep. I mean, we might not need it, but it's good we have it.
As you exit through this room, you see as soon as you get through this door, it also closes off as a cave or like a solid wall of rock. As you enter this last room, it looks like a normal house that you would recognize, Orhana, from Penk. This is just a typical house someone would burrow deep into this into the ground to avoid the brutal hot desert days. And you see, like, all messed up, one of those switches that you would put the lever in. That's like right next to this area, and you can see there's all kinds of like drawings next to it, and it seems like someone was going mad trying to figure out what the hell this thing did as you guys just walk out.
We came in the other direction. That's funny.
Is there anyone around?
Give me a perception check.
That is a 22, I believe. Oh, it's a 23, actually.
Charnook is listening as Ulyrus is pointing out that boring stuff. Doesn't see anybody, doesn't hear anybody.
All right. Oh, well. It seems like we're still alone.
It's not coin, it's fun.
You can see in this very small room, you're now much cluttered compared to those other chambers. There's stairs leading out, like to an upper level at the very least, and it's all like carved into the very earth.
Shall we?
I guess.
My swords make light. I'm such an idiot. How did I forget this?
It's been a while.
As you go up the stairs, thinking about your swords, staring at your swords, you chink up in your armor as you go up into a house that looks like an abode of a shorter individual. It seems like everything is 1/3 your size,
Oh, it's
half the
hard.
This is
size.
terrible.
Probably Orhana size?
100%.
Yes.
100%.
I
It's
hate this place.
exactly Orhana size. As you go up, like Tellius, you're now like, Charnook. This is the antithesis of all the bad characters. Shalmir, just like, good thing I'm Ash. Nobody can actually move right now that's over 6 feet tall inside this house. Like, you can move, but you're just cramped and knocking crap over. But
I'm just gonna
you can,
stay right here.
you can see it. There is a door and an exit out there, and you get a lot more noise once you're up here, and you can hear a lot more chatter going on.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's get out of here. It's cramped.
All right, let me just.
Let me.
As both Tellius and Charnook are trying to get through the door, Orhana just like busts it open, smiling like, "This is grand!" And she opens the door out, and everyone like tumbles out. And I'm gonna pause it right there because I'm gonna go turn on the air conditioner.
Scores.
Oh, interesting.
How dumb Charnock is.
Oh, how dumb are you?
Well,
Not
if
that dumb.
10 is your average Joe's intelligence, I'm an 8, so I'm
Oh, that's
dumb.
not too bad.
Dumb, but not like
Yeah.
totally dumb.
Yeah, and I was saying by comparison, Grog was 6.
Yeah, so he's smart.
is very low.
That's terrific. So you can make out like your glyphs, your bullbro glyphs, but you can't read
Bullbro.
common. All right, as you all exit the door, you are smacked with this grand and advanced-looking Clockwork city. The entirety of it is just beautiful layers and layers of all these gears. And you've hit it at a time where the light is coming through. You find you're underground, and there's this massive hole inside here that actually has this cover that can slide over the top of it, and that's all on all these gear systems. But the light coming in right now is reflecting off the bronze, giving all this beautiful color to the city, and all the crystals that protrude from all the walls all the way around, and it gives this glimmer of purples, reds, and bronzes, browns. It's all that like that mix you see when you get a reflection of that material everywhere. You see this gorgeous castle all the way in the like back center from where you're standing right now. And where you are, it's very much sandstone housing all about. So you can see on the caverns itself, too, it's like layered where they've been digging and mining. You see tons and tons of holes for mining. You can see animals, these some small, some larger, four-legged creatures just walking out and about, just chilling out. Some just laying there, arms off the side, just maybe 100, 200 feet off the ground without a care in the world, sort of like skyscrapers in the past. You see those pictures of those guys hanging there, and you're like, oh my god, what are you doing? Well, there's animals doing that stuff.
The guys eating lunch.
Yes, exactly. You take a peek on the streets as you guys start trying to take in your surroundings more, and all you see are gnomes, halflings, and dwarfs everywhere. These streets themselves almost look like conveyor belts, and you can see as like materials are coming through this area, people are like, hey, we're closing the roads. Some of the dwarfs come there, and then you see these like clockwork like guards coming by, and they have these cranks that they're putting into the side of the road, and as they start cranking it, it's allowing all these materials just in front of you to be pushed in front, like all sorts of mining materials, boxes. You see all sorts of raw materials that need to be refined, and that's being pushed in front of you guys as you're just like stopped inside this area. It's very much layered, and there's just as you get closer to the castle, everything gets more clockwork mechanized. Where you are right now is more sandstone, and it's not slums, but it's not nice. It's very average, below average desert dwelling area.
Efficient housing.
And you have now, like Orhana, you recognize this place as the capital of Penk. This is Linnell, the great city of Penk. You wouldn't.
Like I said,
You wouldn't. Eli would have heard about this for certain, and Tyrion would know what the capital of Penk is. He would have heard it's a Clockwork City, and you would have been like, oh, well, that's different than what I thought a Clockwork City is. And Ohana's like, I've been this bitch.
My soul
Okay.
feels satisfied.
Before we go any farther, remind me what
You guys stick out.
what were we doing? What
We're really tall.
what was the mission we were sent
I
on?
can see everyone.
We need to find the Paragon of Light
Right, that's
and
what it
free
was.
them, and they will help us bring Shalom back.
The Paragon of Light is a person.
As you guys are like sitting here in the middle of the street talking about this stuff, you see these like gnomes walking by, and there's like, God damn merchants! Always taking out the streets, don't know shit as they're walking by you. And everyone is hardcore judging these very tall people that are clogging up their streets right now.
Let's get out of their way, and we'll start making our way towards the castle, I guess.
Okay.
Very kind welcome.
As you guys start walking down the streets to the castle, you take in, you notice, like pizza shops in New York, there is blacksmith shops everywhere.
Oh, geez.
There are so many blacksmith shops, it starts to become ridiculous.
Is it like that thing where they all claim that they're the best one in Pank?
Oh yes, there is plenty of that, and even they will be so petty to be the best one on a particular street as they're right next to each other, and you can tell there's like arms races going on with discounts, or like ours is better made, and they have their prices like big bold letters painted on, and then some of them are crossed down paint and lowered, and then you can just see as you're even going through, some are like up actively changing it, and the other one's coming outside like, you can't do that, you just can't do that. It's like, oh, but I'm gonna as you can tell, competition is alive and well inside this city.
Capitalism.
Give me a perception check.
Everybody?
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Natural 1.
All right.
25.
Okay.
4.
Okay, so the other three enthralled with the argument that's going on right now, and they're looking at you guys with the natural ones like, hey, never seen a merchant like you around here. What the? Look at his face. Oh, look at his face.
What's wrong with his face?
Well, look at it, you big fuck.
It looks good to me.
And as the other ones, as the other two look, you know what? Maybe we'll never get serious ever. Waterdeep crew. You two look up, and you do notice now, like over the top of the open area, you notice there's this massive structure, and with the 20 and 25, it actually looks like the bones of a giant's head that is over the top of this
Hacking
place.
cool.
It is massive.
That's awesome. Wait. Like,
It's like a side view. Think God of War. Remember when that giant collapsed and froze in the ice, Ryan?
Yeah.
It's like bigger than that, and then it's over the top of this area, granting some shade,
It's like-
depending on the angle.
it's in like an actual it's like a skeleton.
It's a skeleton. Like you can start seeing where the ribs connect to the neck bone too. You get
It's not
because
like
of the angle.
It's not like a stone structure that's
No, it's
super-
bones.
Oh, that's cool.
It's massive.
All right.
So, Orhana, you've been here?
Oh yeah, that guy's Ted, and I point to the bones.
Ted. Oh, sounds like a nice guy.
He was. Till he died.
Oh boy, that's
Unfortunate, yes. So do you know what this Paragon of Light is? Have you heard of it?
no fucking way.
Nope.
Did she mention that this was like a hush hush mission?
You
Like,
didn't
we
get that
shouldn't be-
impression. She just told you to go save the Paragon of Light.
Okay.
Whatever the heck that means.
So, well, if we're gonna find this Paragon of Light, we gotta, where do you guys think we should search first?
Where there's like.
You're just standing on the street corner with your hands on your hips and Tullius with his shit-eating green. just with his dumbass mask on, just getting close to your face. Just exclaiming that.
I mean, I imagine a library.
I kind of thought that too.
That's a good start. Let's
Library.
find a library.
Also,
You and-
what time of day is it right now?
Seems like midday, but everything's
Okay.
cast in shadow. But outside, it's bright light up top.
Because we still haven't slept from when we came out of the Orlith fight.
We don't have time.
I mean, I'm still feeling okay.
Tyrion slowly panicking. Hunter panicking more.
Yeah, same.
Well, you would also know that there is monasteries here, there is temples and libraries, general taverns. There are all sorts of places you go ask around. Specifically, Paragon of Light. I don't know what the fuck that shit means.
Well, let's start at a library, then maybe try a monastery.
Ah, yes. Books. My favorite.
Let's get some food too. I'm starved.
Yeah, let's go.
You know, let's start with that. We've had a
Yeah.
let's
We've had a
let's
day.
find a
day.
place to
Let's-
sit
let's-
down.
Yeah, let's start with some
We've had
food.
a
That's a
day.
good idea. Let's
As
do
the
that.
charred Ulyrus is finally thinking, like, the mystery might need to wait. As he just sees his hand, like, all cut up and bloody from, like, some of the traps and stuff.
I could rest and get some food in me.
All right. There are a multitude of taverns here. Give me a percentage die roll to see if you remember your favorites. The ones that were good.
I hope they have pistachios.
So I think it's a 34. Is that right?
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Well, you know for certain that Ingrid's In-Ground Tavern is one of your favorites because they also have like spas and hot springs down there, and it is wonderful.
Not too small.
But the only problem is you guys certainly won't fit. The only place they'll probably fit is the larger taverns with that role for the merchants in the traders district. So all the people that clearly don't fit in this area that are above 5 feet tall
Damn it.
are typically in the publicly traded bazaar area, and they have their own taverns that are they're okay, but nothing like the how heavenly Ingrid's place is.
So I think you guys should stay at this place, and I'm gonna go to Ingrid's, which is over
You don't
here.
want to come with us.
You mean we can't go with you?
You can try.
Yes, that's what I was gonna
Before you
say.
get lost,
Yeah, I've never been here. I don't want to get lost or anything. You know?
Can you bring us to the other place?
I mean, if you don't want me to be around, I get it. I mean,
Oof! After that
I
Orlith
mean-
fight, oof.
That's what it is.
Look
I
at his
understand.
face. I mean,
Well, based on the house that we came up in, maybe this restaurant is not built for people your size.
What are you trying to say? Am I fat?
that's just rude.
No,
man. You
you're
know he's
very
sensitive.
tall and strong.
That's right, I am. Thank you.
Yes,
Alright,
you are.
Yeah, that's
Many people here are not anywhere close to your height
Or strength.
or strength.
That's right. Or beauty.
I kind of want to flex.
and
Most importantly, beauty.
That's right.
You can't just not.
No, I flex.
What'd
but
you roll?
I rolled for like strength, and I only got a 3.
You try and flex in your like cloaks and everything. No one can see
Yeah.
anything, so you're like, ugh,
Exactly. I'm like,
ugh.
ah.
It's like
Yeah, I'm like,
what
oh.
what little is there
And
is
then
not
I'm
even
glad
shown.
that I have the cloak on.
So if we want to go with Harana, it's just going to be very cramped, and you might get some side looks, but
I'm used to side looks.
yes, but you will also be cramped.
I mean,
And
that's, I'm not a fan
uncomfortable.
of that. Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. The world's your oyster.
I like oysters.
How
So
big? How
I
big
think
is the
if we're
building
to
itself?
relax, we should.
Well, you
go
guys got to
somewhere.
travel there. It's going to take you about 20 minutes. So as you guys go through the alleyways, you get a sense of how lively things are in here, and people are pretty joyful and cheerful and
Nice.
pretty happy with one another. It seems like this place is doing as well as it could be in the circumstances that you're gathering from this area. What?
Just waiting to get to the bar.
Okay, so as you guys get to the bar, the tavern, Ingrid's in-ground tavern, you can see the whole thing like leads down, and it has like all this steam coming out of the top of it, and there's actually pools even on the top of it, as Ingrid's in-ground tavern is like in rock and like painted on the front of it. Going in, you guys like try to fit in, and you get some nice. No, you can't come in here. You guys are way too tall. That's not you. We have bars for your folk down there, as they're pointing towards the way. You have this very clean-shaven dwarf, which might set you off a little bit. Yeah, you can tell his hair's like slicked back, as he's one of the.
Fucking weird.
Unsettling.
It's definitely you've never seen a dwarf quite like this, and it's off-putting.
Wow.
Are there any other dwarves in the area that are shaped like this?
No,
It's just
not
same-
outside the tavern. No.
like
Ew.
all the other dwarves we've seen have had beards except for this guy.
Yeah, he's
This
very
is the
clean
first
shaven.
one
Yeah.
that appeared.
Yeah, I mean that's not that unbelievable, guys.
That is pretty
Oh,
weird.
that's weird.
I didn't even think dwarves could shave.
Even the dwarven women have
like
beards. Like, it's just-
indestructible hair.
Well, here we are. We'll have to find out where this leads. Apparently,
All right.
like I'm not even. I'm not thinking about what he's saying. I'm just so. This is weird.
as you're staring at him, let me see if he notices.
Oh
Is
jeez.
he sensitive about it? I hope he's sensitive about it.
Hey, what are you staring at?
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Okay.
Your kind's all the same, judgmental. And he's gonna go and try and suplex you. That's a 24. So give me a
What
give me a
the
roll.
shit?
Wait, what? Is
We're
this
doing a strength contest now.
Strength
As he comes up
contest?
to you, yeah, and he's just like, you're all the same, and you can tell his face. 24.
24?
Yes, this dwarf comes up to you, and now he's trying to suplex you.
16.
As Charnook gets lifted up, and like as Charnook's still just zoning out, you see him like just get his body just levitates a little because you can't even see him if you were looking and shot at the camera. And Charnook, you take no damage, you just hit the ground, and you're still in shock that this dwarf is beardless. He's like, yeah, it showed you.
I stand back up.
And he goes back over towards the door. Yeah, like I said, none of your kind there.
This guy's weird.
Gents,
go.
let's go. Let's go somewhere.
That's what I thought.
Sorry,
That's
we're
what I
gonna-
thought.
Okay.
I want
Yep.
to punch him.
Fucking hate this character
I wanna-
so much.
Tellius, can I kill him, Tellius?
Oh, you're
No,
not
no,
judgmental.
no. I'm gonna grab Charnook's arm and lead him.
Oh, but I
Nope,
wanna-
nope. I know, and he probably deserve it, but let's not do this as visitors in this nice city.
Fine.
Yeah, you run, Tiny.
Don't.
I
don't
reached
turn
for where
around.
my boomerang was, but then realized that I lost my boomerang.
Roll for sadness.
No.
That's a 10.
You're pushing it down, but it's there.
You're pretty sad.
Orhana, you can choose to go with your friends, or you can go into the in-ground.
Nah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna meet up with you guys later and
All right.
ditch them.
We'll just meet you
What?
back here, I guess.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Doesn't one of you guys have send message?
I
No.
don't think I can do that today. It's been a long day.
Hopefully nothing happens.
That's
And-
fine. We'll meet up with you guys in the morning.
You're
Get some
by
sleep.
yourself.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
Why'd you say we?
We'll meet up.
Alright.
Here.
Sure, that's fine.
All right.
Or send a message if you want to meet somewhere else.
Better not see you fucks back here as he's standing on the
Oh, I
porch,
wanna hit him
flicking
so
you guys off.
I'm just gonna
Just-
look at him and be like,
How
"Will
far,
you
how
shut
far
up?"
away are we at this point?
Can I?
Yeah, make
I
an
should roll
intimidation
for
check.
intimidation.
Yeah, do that.
Aw. I wanted that to be really scary.
Spooky.
Yep, it's a 1.
It's a 1.
What?
Yeah, because I have a -1 modifier.
That makes sense.
As you shout at him, he's just like, "Oh, so you think you're big and tough too? Well, guess what? You're not getting in." As he picks you up and he's gonna try and shot put you away. So make a strength contest.
Oh
That's
jeez.
fine.
Why?
No.
26.
Oh, my strength is 0. That's right.
What is this guy's strength?
It's gross.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Do you have a modifier though?
No. I
So
have nothing.
even though it's a
So-
critical success,
Yeah.
you're like, "Pfft, you can't throw me, and you're trying to be dexterous about it, but then like the grease on his hair and stuff, you're like, what the? He's like, that's how I always get him. And you get flung into Tellius' arm, who is completely just stone-faced, not laughing, just caught. Like nothing moves as Orana gets flung into his arms, and you're very much like, well, I didn't want to stay there anyway.
I guess we're all going as a
I'm
group
gonna
now.
start walking away, and I'm gonna move myself so that I'm like behind Charnook, so I'm not in eye shot.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna cast message to this dwarf, and it'd be like, "Your mother's a fatty."
Whoa! Whoa!
And it just happens in his head.
He's looking around, and you start seeing him. He's getting real mad, and he goes and grabs one of the shutters and rips it off the side of the establishment, and he starts smashing the ground. Nobody! And he's like, kicks it. He starts to make it sharp where he just broke it. Nobody calls my. And you guys are walking away.
Walking away.
Hell is this guy? Well, you walked away before that could have figured out more, so
What
that's
I'm
great.
going to do is I'm going to start looking like I'm walking away. I'm going to purposely walk in front of like Charnook, who's huge.
Yeah.
And turn
There's a
my
party in
cloak
front
a
of me.
different color.
Okay.
And then just turn around and walk back in and walk past that guy.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Okay. Oh my
You
lord.
have to make room, dude.
What is up with this?
You're not
I
going to
literally
this
have
bar.
rolled like higher than a 10. Like maybe 3 times out of everything I've rolled tonight.
Use a new dice.
Hey man,
That's
I've
rough.
changed dice like 4 times.
You've changed dice once.
All right, so
So that's a 6.
a 6. Oh no. As you change color and you start coming back, you see the door open and you recognize the owner, Ingrid, and she is not pleased. And she starts screaming, "Hey yo, we hired you in good faith." And you see him like, put the shutter down. he drops the shutter. And as she's starting to yell at him, you're coming up. And he's like, "Hey, wait a minute!" As like when he drops the shutter, like a little gust of wind comes through from one of the movements of supplies on like one of the conveyor belts on another street. So that gives this like backdraft, blows your hood right off, and and you see him just like, "Oh, wait a minute!" And you see her like, "Is that a customer? Oh, I sent her away. You're the one probably called my mother." He's gonna try and throw you again. Okay, that is a 20.
I'm just not even gonna like cry. I'm just gonna like look at Ingrid and be like, "Are you really gonna let him do this?"
And you see Ingrid just like, and she goes back inside as he's coming over, and as he's mid shot put, you just see a it's stone hammer miss as he shot puts you, and she's like, "Oh god dang it!" She's gonna try and hit him again. Oh my god, she misses again. He's like, oh, not today, Ingrid. This is insane. This is not at all where I wanted today to go. This is ridiculous. All right, you're being shot put it 20 feet away again. As the group, I don't know what you're doing during the sequence.
We just been
I'm just
moving.
continuing.
All right, you guys are toward the merchant district as you just fall on your butt outside as this bouncer and Ingrid are now in battle right now, and people are starting to file outside the bar being like, "Oh, get him, Ingrid!"
Oh my god.
Do you attempt to go back in again, or are you going to join your party?
No, I'm gonna go back in again.
All right.
Is there a way to like? You said there were pools on the roof.
Yes.
So is there a way for me to like sneakily get up onto the roof instead, and then like?
I'm
go
going to
down
say you can
downstairs?
try, give me athletics checks to try and climb on the adjacent house and then go into the pools.
My god.
All right, let's see. So that is a 7.
Oh my god.
Use.
Oh
you
my God.
Die.
You're
If I
going to get
change
arrested
the
at this
dice,
rate.
I'm not gonna do anything.
Oh my
Rolls
god.
20.
So as you start trying to climb the house next door, the owner of that smith shop comes out and he's like, "Could I help you?"
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I threw something up here.
Alright. Could you get down from my shop?
Yeah, I just wanted to grab the arrow. Is that okay?
Give me a deception check. This is ridiculous.
If I roll lower than a 10, I'm just gonna say I told you so.
Okay.
You need to get better at rolling.
Oh my crap.
Form.
So that's a 6.
He reaches over to the barrels of arrows that are outside. It's like, on the house, get off mine. As he hands you the arrow.
Nice.
Okay, thanks.
You can add an arrow to your inventory. Standard arrow.
Free arrow.
All right, the rest of you guys have gone down to the merchant section, and you found one of the local taverns, and you've checked in. It's going to cost you, I say, 2 silver per night. You can get food, for sake of brevity.
Do they have pistachios?
They absolutely don't have pistachios
Do they
here.
have any nuts?
No,
This place sucks.
it's the desert.
This place really sucks.
Just tell you,
I want to go home.
Talia starts getting really sad and emotional out of nowhere at the bar when there's no nuts, and he turns to the rest of you at the bar, and you're all like, Orana's gone. What the fuck was that? And she's gone. Talia's just like, I want to go home. And all of you are like, where's home for Talia's?
It's the bar.
Ooh.
No, they just genuinely, they've never asked. So, I guess home, the other home.
Yeah.
That's right.
Waterdeep home.
Yeah. That's what you guys would think, actually, so.
Okay.
Sorry. Your DM forgot you guys had a home. You gotta be fair.
Had a really nice.
I've been doing so much with what's been happening with Waterdeep, I forgot you guys had some place there.
Indeed.
So,
Probably on fire now.
we'll see. Alright, so, do you guys want to sleep?
I want to go home.
You literally want to go home.
Yeah.
How would you like to do that?
Let's
I just want to go.
Cast plane shift.
let's just relax. You know, I'll get a round of drinks for everybody, and then maybe get some food in us as well.
Could you pay for
Can
my
I
room
like
too?
flag down a
I
waiter,
got you,
waiter?
friend.
Alright.
Actually, I think you owe me.
I will get this one.
I forgot to give you the tavern's music.
I
Next
owe you
week.
for a lot of stuff. I will begin my penance here.
Okay. I'll just say 1 gold for all the food. Take care of everything. You flag down the waiter. You guys have your conversations pretty silently tonight because you're still processing everything, and then I get you all go to bed. Orhana, are you still trying to break into this establishment?
Probably, but I'm gonna just watch and see what happens between the owner and the bouncer.
Okay, I gotta roll some percentage dice.
Because if he's gonna be there, I don't friggin' want to stay here anyway.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Have fun.
Where's my?
We still got work clothes on.
They're back.
I recover 2 rages. Neat.
As this fight goes 30 minutes, an hour.
Oh my god.
They are exchanging blows back and forth, and eventually they keep like upping the ante. As they don't fall, it turns into an arm wrestling contest. And at that, the arm wrestling contest, Ingrid does win. Yeet! That starts to get him to calm down a bit, and then the crowd, like in unison, just starts beating the life out of him. Not viciously, but like they all seem to know each other.
Oh,
and
verbally, like emotionally.
No, with their
like-
fists. These are
okay.
dwarfs, and they're beating the life out of this guy. And you do notice, since you're there, a lot more of these clean-shaven dwarfs there. There seems to be at least. Stop giving me that look, you judgmental monster.
It's weird.
Jesus, my God, people can't have their own hairstyles apparently. Nope. So anyway, as they start
Dwarf culture thing.
beating this guy up, they beat him to the point of unconsciousness, and then they drag him inside, and that's the last you see of him. And Ingrid's pretty bruised, swelling, black and blue, as she just walks in to the place, and she just like drinks on me. I was like, yeah, 1. Oh! All right.
So I'll just go inside with everyone at that point. He's unconscious.
Yep.
I don't care.
Yep.
I'm just gonna find someone that I can pay and, run
All right.
upstairs and collapse on a bed.
Do 2 silver pieces, and you're all set for all that. And they'll take care of you, and food would be another silver piece to have a full night's rest. Food. All of you guys go to sleep.
Or do we?
Totally.
Excellent.
No, fuck you. Now, you all have sleep, but it is not a great sleep. You all not plagued by nightmares, but you all have
Yet.
nightmares from the experience of Orlith losing Shalmir, seeing these awful fiends. That was way too serious for all your blood, and that was a lot.
Way too serious for me.
Definitely repressing emotions right now.
Yeah, you died,
Sure did.
so that was terrifying,
Yep.
and that's gonna be roll for repression.
Straight D20?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright.
Roll for
14.
Another success. You start thinking about big questions, you're like, oh, I don't think about those things.
Not today.
you start doing this like hitting yourself, you're like, yeah, that's real. All right. So,
That's pretty.
Tyrion, as you try and sit down and fall for some sleep, you feel some pressure, and eventually you give it this look of not tonight, and you just pass out.
Damn.
The next day is yours inside the... Oh, no. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. Yep.
Forgot to mention the assassins.
Nope. No, you're good. So the day starts earlier than you expected. Just as you guys get your full rest, you're hearing knocking at your taverns, where all you guys are, and they're like, clear out, it's clearing day, everybody out.
What? Okay.
Up. Nope, everyone's out. You've known about this for months, everybody out.
I haven't known
What?
about this. We just got here yesterday.
You see this long-nosed, gnomish figure, very clean, wrinkly skin. He's got one of these super wacky hats that it just keeps folding, and there's no way that thing should be standing straight up with the way it's all folded in and just folded back a little bit. It's all these greens and all these patches on it, and he's got these big rosy cheeks and he's just very tiny build, and he's just like
Gnome Santa.
a little bit, but there's no beard.
I got you.
So as he's looking around at you guys, don't give me that. As he's ignoring you guys, going bit by bit down and getting everybody out. It's like, don't make me go get the old Clockworks in here. And you see at that some of the merchants like, all right. And you see some of these orc merchants coming out like as they're coming out there. You see a good mix of some half elves and some humans in here. Trickling out some really bigger, heftier ones that are just like trying to bully the little gnome. It's like, oh, you want? It's like, as this gnome seems to talk quite a big game. He has quite the intimidating personality, despite him being such a small little gnome. Everyone starts filing out. Do you guys leave?
I guess. Nothing for us here, right?
I'll just can I stop at maybe the front desk or something as we're going out?
Okay,
There's-
sure.
Sorry, we just arrived yesterday. What is happening today? Clear out day?
Clear out day! And you see this massive poster saying clear out day. He's like, all non-residents of Linnell are getting the boot today.
The whole out of the city. or
All of
just-
them. If you're not a naturalized citizen, get out!
Under whose order?
The king's orders.
Where? King.
Okay. What if you're friends with a natural citizen?
Let me get their names. Which king you talking about?
There's multiple kings.
Yes. The Great Dwarven Kings.
I've never met you.
Ah, I can tell. Well, there's King Konto and Inj.
Alright. That still doesn't really help. Why are we being kicked out?
Because this is cleaning day, as he points back to this poster, and every time you look at it, you notice there's more very poor graphic design on here, like crayons and paints and happy-go-lucky stuff, and you start reading the writing as he explains it to you. This is cleaning day. Basically, all you freeloading merchants get the hell out while we go through and fine-tune all of our mechanisms in here. We don't want your peeping eyes seeing how the inner workings of the city is. So
What if we're
get
not
out!
merchants?
What?
What if we're not merchants?
You got your paperwork, so you're naturalized citizens?
We know.
Well, get out then.
All right. Is this a yearly thing? As I'm walking out.
As you see he's turning over, just like
Yeah, I mean,
wackos.
like, how long does this calibration thing last? I mean, is it like lengthy? Can we come back?
yeah, it's a day. Just go wander the desert. And
What do you mean wander the desert?
as he looks over to a bunch of these other gnomes and dwarves, they're like, "What does he mean, wander the desert? That's what we do around here." Get a load of this. Gallon, look at this. This guy doesn't wander the desert. You see him like, he starts spitting up and drink. He doesn't wander the desert. He doesn't wander the desert. And you guys start getting flashbacks to the Water Deep guards. And just like, that's insane. There's literally so little to do. How could you not wander the desert?
We've never been here before.
Clearly, as this keeps becoming a repeating occurrence.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go, guys.
Yeah. All right. As you start being filed out with all these other merchants and people being like, "Hey, it's a bunch of bullshit," you see a couple other guys like, "I guess it's a happy wandering day for me." As you're hearing these things under their breath, there's all these conveyor belts being sent out to send people out of the city.
Can we get some food first?
You can try. All right, so you guys break off from the pack here then?
Oh, I'll live off rations.
30 seconds.
What? Are you guys all then just following order as they're basically pushing everybody
No.
on to the streets, and you see these Clockwork soldiers, which they're very tall. The Clockwork soldiers are like 8 feet tall,
Oh,
8 feet, and then you do see in this circumstance, because they're forcing people out, you can see the golems back there, and they're about 12 feet tall, and there's like 2 of them just standing like toward the inner parts of the city, like no one's coming through here right now.
I mean, first,
Guys, we have a mission. We can't be leaving the city.
you're right.
I mean, it's just a day. Is it really that urgent?
It seemed pretty urgent.
Did we have a time frame?
It seemed urgent.
It seemed really urgent.
It was urgent. We
I don't even
need to
feel good about
think.
sleeping.
I feel fine
Let's go
about it.
back to the abandoned house that we came up through, and we can hide out there.
That might work, but how are we gonna get there?
How are we
without
gonna
getting
get
noticed?
there?
Yeah.
Are they blocking our path to that house?
It looks like there's all these clockwork mechanisms. They're like starting to block roads. You see them clinking these things up little by little. So you can stealth. You can try to make a distraction. There's plenty of opportunities to try and get past, but it looks like
Alright.
slowly they're blocking off everybody and funneling them into these conveyor belts that are leading it like as a shot across the town to shoot you out.
Okay.
How?
All right. Do we want to stealth it, or does someone want to do a distraction?
I could
the
probably
plan?
make a distraction.
Okay, let's do that then. And then we can try to also stealth.
Sure. All right, what are you guys doing? Ohana, you wake. You're getting breakfast and eating cheerfully inside after a nice like dip into the hot spa. You feel very refreshed. You're pushing down a lot of bad memories. Inside the pool, the blade is just like, you know what? Maybe we don't have to kill today. You know, this seems all right.
Wow.
That's how nice this place is right now. And you're just waiting on a message from your friends that might never come.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach into my rations here
Okay.
and pull out 3 walnut shells from some walnuts that I ate.
Okay.
Because the bars didn't have any fucking nuts. And I'm gonna cast,
Your DM is so confused about this defending Tullius. Sorry.
crush them in my hands.
Yes.
And cast Confusion at 4th level.
On what?
Well, I'll tell you what it does there.
Yeah, please do.
Buccarino.
Okay.
Boo. So, it is a 15-foot sphere, and each creature within the 15-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be affected by it.
Okay.
Hopefully, it causes a
They're gonna
distraction.
work on clockwork.
Okay, so what are you using on the people, the
I'm
machines?
not sure. I'm trying to can I get a view of the situation before I do that?
Sure, because you're outside the bar, you guys are trying to push towards an alley, trying to get away from this
Yeah.
as they're slowly putting up basically roadblocks that you would see that would
Yeah.
prevent cars from going, but they're like the long ones, not the sticks.
Yeah.
As everybody's being put onto these pads, you can see that all the exits are basically being flanked by clockwork guards, And you also get this tone of there's a nice separation from like human interaction and like automaton interaction for law here that kind of makes it more clean and programmed versus the normal stuff you saw in Waterdeep, which could be slimy sometimes and shadowy. It seems very black and white in from what you're seeing. And there's just tons of people, and they're packing up their stuff. Some of them have mules, carts, just tons of merchants, mainly of humans and half-elves are this area. Plus little bits of other races sprinkled in.
What about guards and stuff?
There's no actual guards.
Oh,
They're all clockwork mechanisms.
and are there clockwork mechanisms between us and where we're trying to head to with these alleys?
At the moment, yep, they're standing, like there's one right next to you guys as you guys are trying to flank out, but you guys haven't like pushed past the barrier where it's going to do something yet, so it's just fine, you're like inches away from it, but unfazed.
Okay, so as we get a little farther away, jeez, yeah, I'll do it. It has like a 90-foot casting range, so I'll do it like so. If we're coming out here and there's like a thing here,
Yep.
like this direction,
Okay.
if that makes any sense.
Are you doing it towards like the group of people, or are you doing it on the guards, or are you just trying to get the one guard? What's the idea here?
As many guards as possible.
Um,
Does enchantment magic work on constructs?
Who knows?
you can, because they're all in alleys. Like if you can try and you're gonna try and hit the one here, and then the ones going forward, then you'd be able to get like 4 or 5 of them. You could try.
We'll try that.
All right.
And if it fails, it fails.
How big is the radius again?
15-foot sphere.
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 There's,
You
is it 15-foot diameter or radius?
Radius.
So 30-foot.
Okay.
Diameter.
So as you cast it, you know it clearly doesn't penetrate any of the automatons, but you just barely get like a few blokes that happen to be standing by, and that's a natural 6, so they fail.
The save is 16, yeah.
So what's the confusion then on them?
Well, I'll tell you.
like
An
roll
affected target can't take reactions and must roll a d10 at the start of each of its turns to determine its behavior. So,
7.
okay, it uses its action to make a melee attack against a randomly determined creature within its reach.
You son of a bitch! as he punches the other guy, he's just like, God! Knocked to the ground. He's like, Gary! He's like, yeah! She was my wife! And then the automaton next to you see like this glow happen in it, and this loud like me, and it comes past you guys, and it pushes past you. It's like, there will be no fighting as it's going towards him, and you guys have a shot to run.
into the alley.
Sneak out.
There's like 4 of them converging on this guy. He's like, no! I loved her! All right, you guys start sprinting down the alley. Okay.
We're heading back to the ruins from which we came.
Would we
Okay.
Wow, would I know where that is?
You have to definitely give me a roll. That would be an intelligence check.
Not me.
You have the maze walker ability, though.
I don't.
But
know.
it only works for mazes, I believe.
Let me check that.
Yeah, double check, but you definitely remember your paths you take.
That's a good point.
But I don't know if it's only inside mazes and labyrinths. 10? It's a brand new city. Like, this is a lot. You, Iris?
Can I try it? Yep.
Yeah, of course, everyone's trying this because you're all running down this alley. You're like, haha, we got away. And
Intelligence.
you're sticking out like sore thumbs as you're slowing down, and you have no idea where you are, and everybody is like,
7.
is that a tiefling?
9.
What's a tiefling doing here? Isn't it cleaning day?
Let's stealth.
What are you doing,
Let's stealth down
Iris?
somewhere. I wanna bring everyone down like
Oh,
a.
I was rolling for a direction.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was looking for your
that's-
direction
that's
first,
awesome.
Iris.
Yeah.
What was your direction?
I got 9 for direction.
Wow, an intelligence check?
I rolled a 4.
Brutal.
Ooh.
You're all lost.
Give me a hot second.
So all you guys worried and lost now. You're like, oh no, and people are starting to look at you, and you can
Can
see
I
people be
bring
like,
everyone?
hey, folks, I think you're lost here, as they start calling out to you guys.
Fuck me.
Can we go down a shadowy this somewhere away from people and stealth it?
Just keep running. You can keep running right now.
Let's just keep
Keep
running.
moving.
All right, as you keep moving, the people are like, "Hey, don't ignore!" As you guys ignore them and start going through alleys. And you can see them trying to get some attention as they're not. This is making them uncomfortable, and it's super shady. Give me stealth checks.
Ooh.
You run at disadvantage with plate armor. I forgot.
That's a 19 for me.
19, a 5,
Non-natural 20.
20,
2.
2. Ulyrus and
Oh wait, sorry. Yes, 2.
Ulyrus and Charnook are like leading the way as he's just like, I think it was, and they're going pretty well. And Tullius and Tyrion just keep seeing, like, you keep looking back, like, I think they're following us. And as you keep looking, you just keep knocking over. It's a smith shop after smith stuff that's like set up, and you just hear this clang, 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 clang. All these tools, arrows, ingots, and you're just creating a path where you guys keep twisting. Everyone's like, hey! As you are making a mess of things.
Sorry.
Guys, be more careful. God, oh man.
Man, it doesn't feel good to be the dummy. Let me tell you that.
All right, Orhana, do you want to do anything else besides just waiting in there?
Don't think so. Let's take another.
Maybe
soak
we
in
should send a
yourself.
message to Orhana.
Orhana's just chilling out there having a grand old day.
I'm so thrilled to not be surrounded by guys right now.
Tellius, send a message to Orhana so we can try to figure out where to go.
What do you want me to say?
Tell her to meet us somewhere that we're near.
I don't know where the fuck we are.
Just name a store or a street sign or anything.
Alright.
Is there any like landmark we could
There's
give?
tons
Orhana
of
with?
stores around you.
Okay.
There would be where you guys are right now. You'd probably deep into the blacksmith shops. So you can see 2 blacksmith shops. One that is got a massive anvil smashing an orc face on it, and then the one across the street has a orc with like flexing his muscles. And one is called Grarls, and the other one is called Tormins. Yes. You think what you want.
Okay.
Think what you want. And those are opposite each other, so there you go.
So just
Orhana.
mention we're in.
I'm casting.
Yeah.
Ohana. We are. Oh,
Did
sorry.
you knock over more shit? Oh, I'm sorry. You see one of the guys. What is wrong with you?
Sorry. We're near the blacksmith shop with the giant anvil smashing the orc. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
We need to get somewhere. We need help.
You hear that? You know exactly where they are. It's like maybe 2 minutes from where you're currently at. They're basically going parallel and going deeper away from where you're at. They just keep going just barely the wrong way.
So
And it's compounding into making it worse.
when Minotaurs were unearthed Arcana a few months back, they had
boy.
Labyrinthine recall,
Okay.
which is they can't get lost because they remember every path they took.
Okay.
But since they've become official material, that has been removed. So it's up to you.
Oof.
It's up to you.
It's been removed.
Okay.
Well, for now, maybe you can earn that. That might be cool to earn.
I feel like it would make sense in the labyrinth.
Definitely in the
but, you know,
labyrinth. I'll give you that. But
Yeah.
like in a brand new city,
Yeah, no, that makes
This
sense.
isn't a labyrinth.
It's not a labyrinth.
it really isn't. It's a city.
It
So
sure is.
Orhana tidies up, takes her time as you guys are like freaking out as people are closing in on all of you. Like, you shouldn't be here. And she just wanders towards your group and just like, all right, let's go this way. As they're all like, hey, you responsible for them, and just everyone just starts leaving.
I just wave.
All right.
Like, goddamn gnomes think they know it all.
God,
Let's
this
just go
is
back
really
to the
racist.
abandoned house.
I know, right?
Maybe. What's that, Ulyrus?
I was just telling Orhana, let's go back to that abandoned house that we came up through.
All right,
just
give me an
to lay low
intelligence
for a
check with
bit.
advantage. Orhana, yeah.
Oh, okay.
See if you can remember where it is. Because it was just a domestic home.
That's better.
Alrighty. So with what did you say? Intelligence?
Yeah,
18.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know where it's at. And you guys get there in no time, and you can see the owner outside it. There's a dwarf with a close-cut beard, but he has one, so you guys don't freak out. And pretty dark hair, seems pretty young. He has his own house, his own abode, seems pretty proud of it. He's sort of just standing outside watching all the people being sent out right now, just... Can I help you?
Hi.
Hi. You from around here?
Yep.
Yes,
Yes, of course.
absolutely.
Haven't seen your lot here before. Deception checks.
It's been a long time. Oh, I'm so good at deception.
Tyrion 2, the 3 that talked.
13.
19.
4.
Oh,
What the person that... Wait, but she
That's
is here.
ironic.
Oh, you would have advantage. You have advantage.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, you're just persuasion. You're just persuasion.
Ah.
You're just persuasion.
Still the same modifier.
So what you rolled? What?
Still a
13.
4, 13, 19. He gives you these looks. Alright. He's very confused with you, though. Like, for some the other two, he's like, it seem right. What? How are you not, though? He's very... You can see he's very skeptical of what's going on.
Were the ruins
Right.
through his house or like
Yeah, they were-
behind?
Yeah, they're in his basement.
They're
We found some interesting stuff in your basement.
rats.
You broke into my
No,
basement?
no. Long story. Give us a second.
Do you know what's in your basement?
Alright. It's a strange kind of day.
Truly.
So, shoot.
So what did he say?
Shoot.
We could open it.
Open what?
The stuff that's
Oh,
in your
that
basement.
that thing that has all the drawings on it and the hole.
Yeah.
Aren't you curious?
It's the little lever,
Yeah.
and it opens into like a dungeon.
Yeah. It's really a long story. It's way easier to just show you what's going on.
Did you get your house pretty cheap here? I feel like you might have ended up on a, like next to a cemetery type situation.
John, maybe just talking about
All right.
As he sees this Minotaur talking down to him right now.
Talking down to him. Just, this is-
No, You know you're a strange lot. You do understand this.
Yeah, we
Oh,
we understand.
we're very aware.
But what we're gonna show you is even stranger.
Well,
It's worth checking out.
against all my better judgment on that natural one.
We got him.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not sure how you know about my little project. I am proud that I own my own
You
establishment.
should.
As I am as well.
Are you with the People's Alliance?
We actually are, aren't we? Wait.
No.
No. That's a different thing. That's a different thing.
Those are
yeah.
the bad guys.
Yeah.
We're with the Order of the Gauntlet.
Oh, they don't get out here so far. You see him just slowly turn and open the door.
Yeah, what the shit?
He just like,
Are you with the People's Alliance?
no,
Well, then that's good, right?
I think so.
Alright.
What's your name?
He's about that same thing. Ishaba.
Ishaba.
Tellius, nice to meet you.
Charnock.
Ishaba Hardhammer. The Hardhammers.
Haha.
Tellius, Charnook, you said your name was? What about the rest of the lot of you? You're gonna break into my house. I don't think I can take all of you.
Tyrion.
Tyrion,
Eulyrus.
I could take him.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
could probably
best.
All right, show me whatever you came here for, and don't take my shit.
Of course not.
Alright.
As you guys try and squeeze into his house, he starts scraping his ceiling. Oh God! Oh, I knew this. I should know better. As you guys go down.
Who has the thing? The lever.
I have the lever.
All right.
Yes.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
Okay.
So you take this thing here,
Yes.
and you put it in this slot.
Okay. Do you try?
Yeah.
Give me a strength check.
Wow.
11. As you try to put it in, the whole thing is like scratched to shit, and the experiments on it, you can't put the lever back in.
Oh no.
As you're just. You put the lever in, and what?
Did you do something to the pedestal?
Well, it's just a thing in the wall. Remember, it's just like a. It's
Oh,
basically
yeah.
like a.
Did you do something to this?
Yeah, I've been trying to get open for longer than I care to admit. To a bunch of strangers that are breaking into my house on cleaning day, which is.
You actually let us in to start.
We came from the other direction.
Yes, we came from
You
beyond.
came from inside.
Yes.
Inside, and we came out through that door.
Yes.
Are you all mad?
No.
Maybe.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
I think you all have to leave.
If
I'm gonna-
I may, before, can maybe just for a moment see if I can just see if I can fix this enough to use it. Just for a second.
All right, you can go ahead and try a tinkerer check.
Tinkerer check.
Yep.
Oh man. How do I do that? Oh, good roll.
So I'm gonna try to.
While he's
Yeah.
doing that,
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna.
don't know.
Give me a tinker check.
While he's
I
doing
rolled
that,
a
I'm gonna stealth
17.
What's
Well,
that?
I don't know. What do I add to that?
Your intelligence plus whatever. While he's doing that, I'm gonna stealthily attempt to take out some stuff from my pouch. So I can cast a spell.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Sometimes it just be like that, dude.
Like, what the heck,
Nope,
Dice?
doesn't
Why
see
are
it.
you rebelling?
All right, so what'd you get?
An 11.
11. All right, and you got a.
So I rolled a 17, a natural 17.
Okay.
I don't know what to add to
You're-
it for tinkering.
Tinkering tool allows you to do it, and then your intelligence modifier.
Oh shit! So that would be a 22.
22. As you look at this, you can tell he has destroyed it beyond repair.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay,
that
so,
that is
I'm
broken.
gonna say, and with the stuff that he didn't see, hopefully.
We'll see.
I'm gonna say, Ishbar, I'd suggest that maybe, you just cooperate with us and don't send us out. And I'm casting suggestion.
Yep, I got that. So what's the save?
16 wisdom.
That's only 14.
8 hours.
Yeet.
Concentration.
Can we like lift the door? Maybe?
Don't punch me.
Yeah, I guess. Why's your lot here then?
Just bad timing, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a long story, but we're here on a mission, and I'm afraid it can't wait.
Well, you picked a pretty bad day.
Yes, we understand that, but we cannot wait. We cannot leave the city. We need to do what we came to do.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll help you. I don't know why. He's so confused.
We're just cheesing our way.
I'm gonna try using one of the arrows
Mhm.
that I have to just see if I can, mess around with it a little more.
sure.
See if anything is gonna work.
Go ahead.
Use the free one.
I'll give you.
Yeah.
I'll give you the lever.
No, exactly.
Net neutral.
Too, just in case you want
The what?
the lever.
Okay, yeah, go
In
ahead.
case she finds a way to.
All right, go ahead and roll. Straight roll intelligence
It's
modifier.
diplomacy time.
Nice.
So that's a 21.
21. As you start fiddling with it, you're able to get a lot of crap out of it that's been damaged so far, and Iris identified it, but you concur with him that the thing is absolutely destroyed. And with such a high roll that your tinkering could have destroyed the lever, but didn't. You were able to see some things as you kept trying to see if it would work or not. You could feel when, nope, take that out, that's going to give. And you were able to make some progress on it, but I mean, the mechanisms are so badly stripped, basically, that you would have to replace the parts, and these are parts that aren't like all the other Clockwork parks you've been seeing. This is clearly made from something from a different race of people from a different time.
The door itself is just a
It's stone. It's like moving earth.
stone slab.
It's like a mountain.
The door is a mountain.
Alright.
You feel like trying to lift a mountain?
I think we have more pressing matters on our
Yeah, I
hands.
guess you're right.
Sir, what was your name again?
Ishba.
Ishba Stronghammer.
Ishba.
This is our good friend Ishba.
Well, Ishba.
I guess we're friends.
Of course.
Yes, just
How did we become friends?
It's
You
charming.
let us into our
We're-
house.
we're
You're just
very
a
likable.
friendly guy.
Not normally like this.
Times change. It's a strange day.
I
It is a
think
strange
we can ask
day.
him what we're looking for, right? think
I
that's safe.
see no reason why not. He's our friend.
Okay, yeah, of course. Have you ever heard of the Paragon of Light?
You bastard. Natural 20. I need to get as much. as
What
I
the
want.
shit?
Natural 20.
What the fuck? Nice. Why is this guy so helpful?
That sounds like something the monastery would know.
Honestly,
Never heard of that.
You think the monastery would be receptive to people like us today?
Yes,
or
I was
you think
about
maybe
to
we
ask.
should lay low and have someone else check in on it for us?
You said it's urgent?
Very urgent.
Yes.
Yeah.
You probably got to go today, whether they're going to take you or not. Today's the day.
So either I'll go or Hana goes
I
on
think
her own.
Ohana has the best chance of getting anything done in this city. And,
Yes.
you know,
Well, actually,
I mean,
does
I could
anybody
go.
have
you could
a?
go.
I don't know
Would
why
that
I'd
be-
go.
Would that be alright?
Guess so.
Do you have any dishes or anything you need to be done while
Yeah,
you're
we
away?
could clean your house
Yeah,
while
we
you're
can
gone
help.
or something.
Oh, around the house.
You look around, he seems to be a pretty good neat freak besides his basement. It seems like the majority of his living and time is spent in his basement for at least living in the house. You could,
Make us some dinner.
Yeah, we could have food ready for you when you get back. Are you hungry?
alright, yeah, I could go for that.
Alright.
Okay. Okay. So you two can go to the monastery and look into the Paragon of Light. Does anyone else have ways to disguise themselves that might work if they want to go as well?
Well,
I mean, I could, but I don't think it would do much, you know, here. I'm not sure my limits of shape-shifting are
Because of height difference.
quite advanced enough.
the way that mine works is I can only make myself look a foot taller or shorter, which wouldn't do me much good here, but I mean, if I give it to you, Iris, and you spend some time focusing on it, maybe you could pick it up.
Okay.
I blow things up.
That's a
Yes,
good thing
you
to have.
do.
That's a good thing to have.
That's about what I do.
Could
We
you
might
blow
need
open
that
the,
later,
the door? Could you blow that open?
That might damage your.
That might
beautiful
destroy
home.
your house.
Yeah, that might
He's
be bad.
very powerful. I tell you what, I'll try to
Might.
lift it while you're gone.
Alright.
Pretty
Yeah,
strong.
so
My friend and I here, we're pretty strong. We'll try to lift it, and
So-
if it doesn't work, it
Yeah.
doesn't work.
if I was a foot shorter, would I be a decent height?
Yeah.
I'm 5'10".
Yep.
So if I'm
But you still look
4'10",
like an
I'd be
elf,
good.
but I guess you could pass off as a gnome.
But if I put the hat on,
Yep.
I can completely change my
4'6".
appearance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if what I was suggesting is I just give him the hat of disguise for a little while.
Sure, yeah, no, I got that. You can do that. So,
Just a short rest to attune to it.
I think it's
Or
just
do-
an hour, maybe?
it's a short rest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
so-
An hour is a short rest.
Alright. So you guys take a short rest, you attune to it,
Yep.
you can change your form, and then you guys can go to the monastery.
Yep. All right. So I'll just look like a. What was the most like? There were dwarves and halflings and gnomes. What was the most prevalent?
It seemed like dwarves. It seemed like a very strong dwarven city.
Dwarves. Okay. I'll do dwarf.
Okay, sure.
Just black hair, black beard.
Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
Normal clothes. Okay.
Yep.
Three of you go.
I grab him by his illusory beard, and I look him in the eyes and I say, "Don't lose the hat."
You got it. I'll bring it back just the way you gave it to me.
Yeah, he's just holding nothing right now.
It's an illusion. So.
So three of you.
I'll lean into it and pretend like, yep, not the beard.
Very convincing. Nice shot.
You don't have to roll a deception check. He believed it. As you guys go in the streets, you notice most of the people have been filed out for the day. You get a sense of a strange tension in the air, but as you guys get into the monastery, you're greeted by the monks of the... I think it's the Crane Monastery here. And you see all these beautiful sculptures of all the different versions of Crane. You can also see many different types of gnomes and dwarves practicing different forms of meditation. And as Ingrid gets up there and meets the receptionist, my friends need to know what the Paragon of Light is. You'd probably know that. And you see, like, there's this gnome. It's like slightly taller than other gnomes and super thin. It's like a freaky looking gnome compared to like the standard gnomes, but it's not super tall. It's not that much bigger. It's just like the nerdy picked on gnome, because it's like he stood out. He's different. He's not uniform. He's just like, oh. You gather that easily by his demeanor. Well, that's terrific. I
love this.
I'm glad you came to my monastery here. We have all sorts of books, information, more than the standard libraries. Especially the Paragon, just a term many people use. You see one of the gnomes behind him. Hey, check them in. Check them in before anything happens. Oh, yes. I just need you to sign here on my check-in sheet. He's got like a little like rock clipboard. As he flips it over, and there's some parchment here, and there's a little ink dial at the top of it. It's all like built into the stone. Just sign an X here that you won't damage anything, and you're not allowed to check anything out. I'm just gonna be with you the entire time for any of your questions, and I'll be able to help you out today. Do you all sign?
Yep.
Instead of writing my name, I write Charnook.
Okay. Hey. All right, and Ingrid signs. She's like, oh yeah, thanks.
It's a really gnomish name.
Just tell them whatever you got. Sure. Come this way. Ushers you over to one of the like instructional areas where you see a bunch of these other gnomes, some way less enthusiastic than the one you ran into. And he just like, wow. So where to start? The Paragon Light is more of a slang term some people use. It comes from the great lands of this city. Why are you asking? I'm curious to know why you want to know about something as interesting as this. This is legends and lores.
I am.
That all happens.
Oh yeah. I am a lover of books and knowledge and learning about different lores of lands, and I like to learn.
He puts his hand through your beard, and he pulls back. I won't tell anybody.
I appreciate that.
That's hilarious.
I can tell if you're that dedicated to hear about all the mysteries of the world, your secret's safe with me, whoever you are.
That's adorable. I love this guy.
He's great.
Thank you very much. I like to learn about all the places I go and try to learn as much as I can about the world. So.
I can see why you did the thing with your voice. You sound nothing like a dwarf.
Yes, yeah.
You see him like turn around, pull the curtain a little more, and this like little instructional area.
I love this guy.
So, the Paragon of Light is a slang term. This actually comes from the origins of our world. Do you guys know? Did you see the big bones above the city?
Yes.
You mean Dave?
You said it was 10.
It did. I did write it down instead.
You mean Ted?
You visibly wound him. That is the All-Father, and as legend would have it,
Ted the Alpha.
he gets slang names as people who don't value history, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm used to this. So like tears start coming down. The story goes that in the dawn of creation, the All-Father was created, and the All-Father had this need to build and craft and perfect his craft, and he built and he built, and he then made the giants, and then the giants made the orcs, and then they continued to shape and shift all the different beings at different times. Some will argue how they weren't first or this wasn't. I'm not here to debate that. But as all the different races were created, eventually it got down to dwarfs and gnomes. By the time it got to our size and they kept crafting us out of the earth in the matter of our world, the hammers were finally laid down as we were perfected. The smaller creatures coming from the great sculptures of the All-Father were where his work finally ended. And we inherited his responsibility of craftsmanship. All of us have to continue in the All-Father's image as we have the honor of being the final craft of creation. So the Paragon of Light is a story of how our people created the greatest city in the world, and a gift from the All-Father was the Paragon of Light. It's not a thing, it's an entity of electricity that powers the city.
I mean, I'm not there. Like, fuck. What does that mean?
It powers the entire city.
That's how so many of the inner workings, if you haven't gotten to the inner city, that's how there's bits and bobbles of all the coolest technologies in the world. That's how so many of the clockwork mechanisms are charged and the automatons can move on their own. It's the life of Linnell. And it's in the power plant below the castle, but not many know where it's located.
Quick question: how late are we going tonight?
11:30, you said?
11:30-ish? Yeah, 11:30 hard stop. You have work in the morning, though, right?
Yeah, it's 7:30.
Ooh! Oh, I really don't want to end this soon. You guys took so fucking long in the beginning. There's something I really wanted to get to. Ooh.
Stop at 11.
11:15? 11-ish?
I'll give it to 11.
Oh, boy. All right.
I will allow it.
Well, all right.
See, that's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta ask.
All right. Here we go. Yeah. So, do you have any other questions? Does that
well,
answer
that's-
your questions you guys wanted about the Paragon thing?
Just
It's the
DM
dwarf
question.
that's with
we
them.
were told to save the Paragon of Light.
I think we were told to free the Paragon.
Is that what it was? Free the Paragon of Light?
Do you say this to the?
No. I'm asking. Like, we were told the mission, so I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get a refresher. It's been a
It
while.
was free. Yep.
It was free the Paragon of Light.
Yeah. That's what you heard.
Oh man.
Oh, okay. Well,
Do you know, like, what the Paragon? It powers the city. It must be an extremely powerful item, or what it? Do you know what it is? Is it some sort of engine?
He leans in. Many speculate it's from the All-Father's hammer. When he was crafting us, some of the sparks that came off of his anvil fell to our planet. And those sparks were captured inside the device that powers the city. And then people coined it all kinds of things, some of which have called it the Paragon of Light. I don't know if I believe that, but I think it's actually more of a chemical reaction that's occurring. If I had to put my bet on it.
Like I said, that would be a very powerful chemical reaction if it was.
I mean, how does all this stuff work? As he like starts pointing towards some things in here, bits and bobbles that are clearly not running on the same power, but reinforcing a point.
And you say it's beneath the castle?
Yes, that is. But you didn't hear that from me. I like y'all so much. I just natural 20s are amazing. So just
Of course.
keep it
I
between
knew
us.
And obviously, most normal citizens aren't allowed down there.
No,
naturally.
no, you'd have to be absolutely sneaky as he takes out like a piece of paper and starts drawing
God.
some schematics.
This is the most generous natural 20.
He's looking around. He's like, now, it's illegal to say I want to kill the president of the United States. Do you remember that? You remember that sketch? I'm just bringing that up. That's the tone right now. Or just like to show you the voice kid you know sketch. Yep. As he starts drawing some like little doodles here of like, now, especially would be pretty difficult on today, but because of all the security, you would have maybe a pretty easy passageway without being seen if one was to go that way. But that's more of like a hobby of things I think about if I ever were to go explore down there.
Right on.
As you just like hear the rip and he just puts it inside your hand and misses it a couple times until you grab it and take it.
I'll discreetly put it in our pocket.
All right. You guys are in like a little area, so.
That is hilarious.
That's fantastic.
Wow, thank you for the history lesson. That was fascinating.
Anytime you want to come back. And if you find out anything, let me know.
I definitely will.
What's his name?
What's his name?
Yes. What is your name?
I am Chidaya.
Chidaya.
Chinaya? Chidaya. We lose our family names. But mine was Shoe Sower.
Shoe sower.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Chidaya Shoe.
fantastic to meet you. Chidaya shoes.
All right.
And if I find anything out, I will let you know.
Thank you so much. Oh, I guess you guys are bored to tears here. I guess we better let these group out. Didn't learn nothing today, did ya? All right. As you see you see the other monk just standing there. Don't let him go filling your head full of nonsense now.
Low-key an anarchist.
As he lets you guys go out, you return to the group.
That was amazing.
All right.
I love him.
You return to
so
the group.
much.
You now know this information. You share the information.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Okay.
Sounds like we got a
What
break.
did we make for dinner? Or lunch or whatever?
Yeah, what kind of food did he have on hand? What did he have to work with?
Not much down here that you'll find that's pretty often. The things are just salted meats that are already there to be kept for long durations of time. And there's no fruits, there's no vegetables. It's all just stuff that can stay as long as possible. And it's clear that he buys groceries almost every single day because just nothing lasts. So I just say the salted meats for now.
We could arrange the meats on a platter with like a charcuterie type thing.
I don't know what you just said, but I heard meat, so I think we should cook that.
Alright. We'll do that then.
We cook the meats.
We don't
Yeah,
have to cook,
not
we don't
all of
have
it.
to cook the meats. It's just
You just get them ready, prepare them.
yeah.
Give me a performance check.
Both of us?
Okay.
Sure. Or one can aid the other.
I'm gonna inspire myself because I don't know if I've.
I
Really
will
cooked
aid
much.
you.
Ooh.
What'd you get?
I don't know.
Can you inspire yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At a certain level.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure I can. Let me double check.
I'd just do it. We're running out of
No,
time.
you're good. You're good.
For now. If you can't do it, tell me
It's
later.
just because I saw a meme earlier, and it was like, no, you can't.
I don't care.
Oh well,
I don't know.
without it, it's an 18. So
18?
I just-
Fine?
Fuck it.
That's
I
good
don't
food,
need it. I don't
man.
need it.
Come
good
back.
food.
I
You
don't
guys
need
eat. Good display.
Roll for friendship.
He's not feeling the friendship very well. But, there's a little bit of a... I see what's going on, but I still feel like something's going on. But he can't... There's something in the back of his head being like, But why would I let them in? Why am I doing this? But they're so friendly.
We are.
All right. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Well,
So we
after
do
you've
a
eaten
heist?
lunch. What's that?
So we do a heist.
All right.
We're doing a heist.
Okay. So as you guys roll out, give me a stealth check and a marching order.
We know where we're going.
Yes, you have the map from
I guess-
Ulyrus, who was able to make it bigger and show you guys and draw up a general route.
All right, I'll go first.
Sure.
I'll stealth and also keep a lookout.
Okay. What's the order for you guys?
I'll go after him.
Okay.
I'll go next.
I'll be in the middle.
Tullius in the back. Okay.
Oh,
You were a 4. What are you, Tullius?
What did I roll?
Oh yeah. What did you get?
Stealth.
Stealth.
I don't know yet. I actually
18. Okay. Ulyrus.
I actually
18.
rolled a 15.
15.
I put my
hilarious.
my
17
elven
or
hood.
13.
Yep. And Tyrion.
12.
17
12.
and 13.
All right.
That's good.
As you guys start to walk through the streets, you guys are all trying to blend in. You still have your hat on, so you're still incognito, but there's still Tullius and Charnook just gigantically walking through these alleys. You are avoiding a lot of the conflict, but like the moving, not conflict, but like everyone being like, hey, I know you're not from here. Get out of here. There's lots of that happening on, but they keep getting glances of Charnook, who's like lagging behind or always just at the wrong place at the wrong time as they're looking alleyways. Like, wait a moment. And he's starting to get a couple people's attention as you guys are pushing through the alleys. But with that, you guys hear a loud voice over the announcements.
Oh, this is the thing, isn't it? Oh shit, it's happening in both places. Oh! Oh!
You guys are in another challenge.
Oh, good.
Is what you meant to say.
As you guys start going through the streets, you hear disgruntled citizens, it's time to rise up against the oppressive ways of your kings.
Shit! Not again!
As all these people are being pushed out, still being sent out of the city, and you see all these people nervously glancing around. Today, the People's Alliance ends this petty war between the kingdoms of Penk and Jalasia. This is where we seize power. This is your days. Take up arms and attack. You guys
Are in the middle of it.
are... Oh, come on, you. As you guys start running in the halls, or the streets, there is absolute pandemonium starting to hit.
Talk faster!
I'm making a beeline.
Everyone,
Was that intentional?
yes,
10. Okay.
that's how long it is. Everybody here, you can only use things you're proficient in. This is a skill challenge, and there are... Absolutely. You just have to explain things to me. You have to be proficient in it. You can only use it once. You can't just keep using the same thing over and over again. Use your group and your party. You can explain to me how things work. This is a part of the timer, Zach, so no complaining about this. So, as you guys see the streets start pouring out, all sorts of dwarfs, gnomes start coming out with weapons, and they start beating on the clockwork devices and all the guards here. And you see a lot of people like closing their windows and getting out of here. Yes, the conflict just starts hitting really quickly as people start rushing towards the center, the castle of Linnell. Yeah.
As a bard, I'm happy
Both joy. All right, so people start flooding the streets, and the angry mob starts obstructing your path. As all of them start filling in after that, you guys are starting to get swept up, even though you guys are taller than most of these people. You're starting to see tall hooded figures, too, joining these crowds as they're throwing things at these clockwork devices and automatrons. What are you doing to try not get completely pushed back into the crowd?
Alright, everybody get behind me, and I'm going to use my athletics to clear a path.
All right, give me a roll.
Same.
Okay, give me a roll. You can aid them. That'll change the DC.
18.
18?
22.
22. that's enough. The two of you start pushing forward, and you're just like clearing the two tall ones, are shoving them to a side, and then the like automatons in front of you are like about to reach out and grab you as like from the rooftops, these hooded assailants put things in the Clockwork devices as they start falling over, and you start to hear like violence going across the city building and shouts as you guys are now running through that area. The next thing, you can see there is Clockwork devices going up down the street, and they're putting things into the corners, and they're cranking the corners right now, and you can see roadblocks slowly starting to come up. What are you doing to try and beat this and stop this?
How many are there?
There's just one right now on your street, but you can see they're doing it on multiple streets, trying to block off getting toward the center of the castle.
I am going to throw a firebolt at its face.
All right, go ahead. Roll for an attack on that.
I'm gonna shoot an arrow, a piercing arrow.
Go ahead and roll then.
18.
18, and what do you do for a hit?
That was a natural one.
Natural one, so that goes wide. Your firebolt hits, roll damage. Now let me know.
That doesn't work as planned.
Whoa! Why does that keep fading? Oh, because it's on... You have 7 minutes, but I have to get the old battery thing off. Low power mode, yep. So, what's the damage?
That
6
is
minutes, 58 seconds.
20 fire damage.
25 just shatters apart as the thing is cranking and it's coming up. It shatters, the crank goes really fast the other way, goes down. Your group goes by.
Well, don't nod. Let's
All right. You get even closer. Now you're into these center rings, and you start seeing like stuff rotating on the gears underneath, trying to move the city and stop the hordes from getting in. And you see gas start coming up from another corner, and you see two of these guards cranking as you see these gnomes in front of you and dwarves just starting to tumble and fall to the ground. What are you doing?
I'm going to use insightful fighting on one of them to
Okay.
get a sneak attack and then shoot a crossbow.
All right, you can do that.
How many are there?
Just two.
Just two?
Yep.
Where's the gas?
All right, so
The ground.
my
It's coming up from the ground.
And it's from the guard that are drinking.
Yes, and you can see the ground's like separating and releasing this gas that's causing them to fall asleep, and it's like a netting meshes underneath, so people aren't just falling to the bottom.
I'm gonna hold my breath and swing at them both with my great sword.
Give me a Constitution saving throw. 12. Charnook steps into it and falls asleep and collapses. So what'd you roll?
So for insight,
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, that hits. Then go ahead and try and do the attack.
Yep, attack. That's a 14.
14. That hits. Roll damage.
Yes. Okay.
Charnook's asleep right now, so you guys, he's...
I'm having a nice
What's that? He's hitting one right now. There's one that's still alive. They're both cranking.
I'm gonna slap Charnook.
If you go into it, you gotta drag him out. If you go into it, you fall asleep.
Okay, I'm not in it. Third level, I'm gonna dissonant whispers.
And they're Clockwork guards, too. So what's Dissonant Whispers do?
It's
Okay, sure.
Wisdom save 16.
You got it. So... 7 fails. So
That's
what happens the other way?
33 points of damage.
Oh, easily. That thing shatters, and you see the whole left side. Gas stops coming out as it lets go. So the left side's open right now.
Excellent.
I'm gonna throw a firebolt at the right side.
Can't do that again.
Oh. I'm
It takes
going
21
to...
psychic damage,
Okay,
and,
he's got it.
On a failed save, it has to move as far as speed allows away from me.
Just shatters with 21 psychic damage. The Clockwork thing just shatters at the top, and all the gases stop, and Charnook is still unconscious, but people are now...
him up.
Okay, easily you can pick him up with your strength. All right, you're running with Charnook now. You guys are getting really close to the castle.
I'm gonna run
As
right
we're running,
behind
I'm
him.
slapping Charnook.
I was gonna do that. All right.
All right, roll strength checks on him to see if you can wake him up. Roll a Constitution saving throw as well.
Okay.
See if you can try and wake him up.
2.
Nope, you do nothing.
6.
19.
Both you guys are complete
19
nerds.
on the con save.
19 on the con save. You're not waking up yet because you already went to sleep. You already failed it. It's getting harder. So now you're in a deep sleep, and you've been put to sleep by this gas that you have no idea of. Okay, so now you guys are getting really close to the castle, and you can see one like last ditch effort here from the top. You can see these Clockwork golems tossing massive nets with these stone things on the bottom like you would do fish, but for people, trying to prevent all these streets as they're converging on the castle right now. What are you trying to do to stop this net from falling on you, or what are you doing to maybe get out of the way? You have options.
I'm gonna cast a.
In front of you, like you can actually see the courtyard of the castle right now. You can see golems lining up outside the castle and all sorts of other clockwork guards lining up now to fill a barricade toward the front entrance.
I'm gonna cast a 3rd level scorching ray at a net at the net that's coming towards us.
Sure. All right. As you do that, give me an attack against the net. See if you can hit it.
Boom. So
And you guys, as you're hearing
that's
this, just more and more violence across, and you're hearing like the ground is shaking with all the just nonsense that's going on. You can actually see on the castle, there's all these clockwork ballistas that are aimed down toward you guys as well. They seem pretty well prepared. What do you got?
2.5 minutes.
So we've got an 18,
That hits.
a 20 plus ridiculousness.
Yeah, it hits. It's a roll.
A 15.
Doesn't hit because it's moving.
And then the last one's gonna be less, so only 2 hits.
All right, go ahead and do the ray and tell me how much damage. As Tyrion stops, holds up as all you guys and tries and shoot through. You guys have like a group of people behind you too that you're like nonchalantly leading the rebels toward the castle and blocking a way for them.
So
I'm not
let's
really
see.
concerned right now.
Same.
The first
Almost
hit
sleep.
is going to be a 8. No. 10.
10? That's enough. 10 just
12.
burnt. Not way overboard. So you're able to
Yeah.
shoot it, and the rope just disintegrates just as it would hit you. It catches some of the other people, but you guys can go right through it.
Easy.
And now you're at the Grand Castle of Lanil.
Minute 20.
You're good.
Oh.
So as you guys get there,
Oh.
you get to the Grand Castle of Lanil, and
It's over.
We're done.
We made it.
That's it.
Good.
I'm the king now.
King of the castle. Now that we've led the rebels in, we can rule them.
beneath the
Let them go
castle
upstairs. We can go downstairs.
lies the beating heart of the Clockwork City. Out front, there is a small crowd of angry dwarves and gnomes shouting towards the Clockwork golems and guards stationed out front of the castle. So they all filled past you, and you just see these beautiful golden clockwork centurions and defense mechanisms there. As you're starting to gather around, the People's Alliance didn't do well in this rebellion. You're seeing these clockwork mechanisms just cutting into them like cheese. You see on many of the other towers and all the different traps, they are just being laid into.
That's convenient. We didn't do great this time.
More clockwork roadblocks have been erected to protect the castle from anyone entering. From the sands surrounding the castle, long copper sheets fold onto each other into creating a smooth surface, preventing anyone from scaling or climbing the walls. So it comes up like armor. Above the entrance, a dwarf and a gnome stand at a balcony shouting through a cone device that seems to be amplifying their voices. Please return to your homes. We can discuss this in a civilized manner. There is no need for bloodshed. Clearly, we have misunderstood the call of the citizens. Please return to your homes.
As people are dying in the streets.
Screams from the crowd rudely answer the plea. Pushing ever closer to the clockwork guards, the group tries to find a way into the castle. But there's nothing clearly happening. The violence seems to be escalating as you can hear awful shouts and screams. The group around you is like not having this whatsoever, and they're just escalating in closer and closer to the guards. You guys are feeling this tension, and you're sort of caught now trying not to be in what's about to explode in front of you. And give me perception rolls.
Am I awake?
No.
Okay.
You can actually, they're going to throw you to the ground and during this, see if you can roll another con.
21.
21,
7.
14, 7, 14. I'd say over the course of all these now, you've had not much time to process it.
I did hold my breath before. I
You
went
did.
in.
I'm gonna give you a fighting chance here, so you
Alright.
wake up.
All right.
Um,
Oh, that was nice.
as you,
I'm gonna drop you.
no, he's already dropped. That's what woke him up.
I needed
Was you
that.
shoving him? As you guys feel the ground shaking, you don't see where it's coming from right now, but you feel like some device has been activated, and it's big. As that begins to shake and you guys try and find where it's coming from, a golem steps forward, raising its giant-sized spear over its head. And as it brings its weapon crashing into the ground in hopes of dispersing the citizens, let me play some music. Put that down, and let me actually send you guys music too. I believe this is the one. Hopefully this is the one. Send you that music. Where are we? Okay. As the golem brings the spear down, you guys watch as it's lifted off its feet into the air. It starts twisting and it is just shattered inside this humongous maw of this 3-storied monster none of you recognize. From the direction of the previous violence you were hearing in the shaking, explosions blast out of this purple smoke, and you start seeing these 2-legged creatures start pouncing onto the citizens and start ripping their flesh and their necks out. All of a sudden you start hearing and you start seeing lizard folk pour into this area, and they start crashing and just devastating all these Clockwork devices and the people there. The rioters are absolutely getting decimated here. As you all start to back up a little bit, you see this massive stampede of gigantic creatures that you don't recognize going by, just pushing through the castle. And as that happens, quick 2-footed creatures continue pouncing on the ones trying to get it away. These sick-looking lizard folk rushing into the area. They look absolutely crazed and start tearing into the city, pushing by it. Slowly walking out of the smoke is a massive lizard folk, maybe 3 times the size of the others. It doesn't seem to be as erratic in its movements, instead calmly walking over to the entrance of the castle as the massive toothed creatures rip the Clockwork guards apart. Almost none surviving at this point. Pointing with a claw, the muscle-bound, humanoid-looking green-scaled creature appears to instruct the animals eating the rioters to stop. As they begin, at that order, they begin climbing the bigger creatures, eventually leaping onto the balconies of the castle and start rushing into the castle. The 2 dwarfs at that quickly sprint backwards and close the doors and lock in. They were staring at horror as all this unfolded and completely shooken by the scenario. Like a stampede, the lizard-like creatures continue this push into the city, crushing into more of the rioters and Clockwork guards deep toward the merch district that you guys experienced today. As the group watches sharked, the large lizard folk turns with a faint glow in its purple eyes. A tilt of its head causes your group to realize he's noticed you. He pulls out something from his pocket and looks up.
Is it a gun?
Going toward the other 2 creatures near him, you hear him say, in this garbled common, "Bring me the gem!" And you all have a new skill challenge before the night ends. I need you guys to roll for survival.
Survival checks?
Use your proficiencies to try and escape the creatures trying to attack for you. So, it is a skill challenge. You have 7 minutes to escape the clutches of this nonsense. First thing that happens as he points and all the smoke keeps pushing through and like cutting across him, you can still see the faint glow of the eyes. Those quick 2-footed curved-clawed creatures start sprinting towards you guys. What are you doing?
Can I use Arcana and Thaumaturgy and try to shock them so we can run past them?
Sure, you can certainly
Like
try.
do a big boom just to try and confuse them for a second.
Sure, the creatures.
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna run
20
past them toward the castle.
21 Arcana check.
We're trying to go underneath it, right?
Yep. All right, that works. In the sense that as that boom happens, those raptors that are starting to run at you guys just stop and they are momentarily paralyzed by the sound and distracted. You guys can try and move toward the castle.
Lars, use the schematics. Lead the way.
Yep. I'm following the schematics.
All right.
Going
right
where they
up
say to
with
go.
Give me an intelligence check.
You can do it, lad. I believe in you.
Inspiration.
That's inspiration. Add inspiration if you need it.
Yep.
I do.
5 minutes, 49 seconds.
Yep. That's 17.
17. As you are looking around the map, the smoke, you guys start to get lost in the smoke. Give me perception checks. The entrance where you could have got in is guarded by the plates in the sand right now because of
21.
what happened. 21?
24.
14, 14,
12.
24, 12. You guys are able to keep each other together in the fog. Give me a dex saving throw. Who has the rock? Who has the gem?
Don't I have it?
Give me a dex saving throw, Eulyrus.
Oh, you're talking about the green one that Shami had?
Because
Yep.
I got it from Shamir.
Yep.
Dex saving throw?
Yep.
15.
Okay. Just barely, you see this blade cut through the darkness and nearly hit you, and and you can see those purple eyes. Come here, as he starts to try and grab
rather
you.
not.
My great sword
Okay.
to try and make space for my friends to go, and then I'm just leaving just as soon as I make impact.
Fuck. What time is it? It's 11. Fuck. We don't have that.
I'm not engaging with him. I'm hitting him to push him back, and then we're running.
We'll pick up there next week with combat.
Neat.